Yo, welcome to another stream from this very sick person. How are you guys doing? कैसे हो? आज unmuted भी है. It's a Thursday, the most useless day in a week. I have no idea why Thursdays exist. Um, but they're still better than Wednesdays. Wednesdays are the worst day of the week, दोस्तों. I don't know why. But कैसे हो आप लोग? It's 7:30 p.m. in India. If you're from India right now. Uh, इतना बड़ा इंट्रो तो मार्वल की मूवीज में भी नहीं होता. आ जाओ दक्ष भाई सस जीतू भाई हाउ आर यू मैन. द इंट्रो इज एग्जैक्टली 150 seconds which is 15 times 10 UCLs. बट वो ना लोग इकट्ठा जब होते रहते हैं ना और फिर थोड़ी सी बकर शुरू होती है चैट में तब मजा आता है. बट जीतू भाई हाउ आर यू डूइंग? जीतू भाई व्हाट्स योर फेवरेट डे ऑफ द वीक एंड व्हाट्स द वर्स्ट डे ऑफ द वीक फॉर यू एंड व्हाई? Because for me Wednesday is the worst day of the week. It's right there in the middle. It's a hectic day. You have to do so much, um, and you then after that hard day of work you come back and you realize you still have to go through 2 more days, man. So क्या ही करें हम लोग. कैसे हो बाकी लोग? अरे yes, congratulations to all my Chelsea subscribers, man. You have won the Conference League, the mighty Conference League. And now you have the entire selection of European trophies: the Champions League, the Europa League, the Conference League, the Intercity Fairs Cup, Intertoto, a cup winner. You have everything. You have everything, including 35 strikers. And you're adding the 36th one in here, man. कैसे हो आप लोग? मोहक भाई ओपी भाई, मोहक भाई ओपी. For United fan, every day is the worst day. I understand it, dude. हेमंत भाई, I understand it, man. अभी लैब से आया फ्रेश होके यूट्यूब ओपन किया एंड योर चिल स्ट्रीम. कैसे हो प्रत्यय? हाउ वाज योर लैब? कौन सी लैब थी तुम्हारी? डोंट बिलीव मैन, डोंट बिलीव दिस. ये मैड्रिड मीडिया यूजुअली करती रहती है कि अरे अभी हम बाकी हैं. कल भी जुबिमेंडी की डील कंफर्म होने से पहले एक मैड्रिड आउटलेट कोप करके, नाम भी कोप है उसका, came out and said, Zubimendi is waiting for Real Madrid. And then एक घंटे बाद Zubimendi to Arsenal हो गया था. Monday is my favorite. Can get so much done and plan the week, says Jeetu bhai. Yeah, I think I like Mondays, dude. I think if you can like front load your week and you finish a lot of work on Monday, na Jeetu bhai, the rest of the week looks easy. But for me Monday is great because it is Sunday plus for me. Thankfully I'm not in college in terms of like I have to study, but mine is a PhD, so I can do Sunday and Sunday plus. So to get over the disappointment of the weekend being over, I use half the Monday to say अरे यार weekend अभी खत्म हो गया, and then उसके बाद आगे चलता रहता हूँ मैं. Intro complete in the first attempt. Intro complete? You were right yesterday. Henry versus Arteta agenda has started. It's not that difficult to predict, man. Like I said, what the media is going to do. Once you clock what the media is going to do, you can just figure out what the media is going to do, and it is fine. Abhi Amarim is getting it, man. Abhi Amarim, Arteta, Ange are in the ringer, dost. कैसे हो पवन भाई? Would Real Madrid fans have 15 UCLs or 5 UCLs in one Conference League? That's also a good question. Deco was caught with Luis Diaz in the bed. All right. Thank you so much, yaar. आप TMZ की तरह कर रहे हो. We even have the PL Summer Series trophy. Yes, of course. How can we forget, man? Bab and Lols most likely we're going to do after the Champions League final, यार दोस्तों. So Monday आप expect कर सकते हैं. Wanted Gyokeres getting Delap. I have a feeling you'll get another striker, dosto. Delap is not going to be your only striker. When does Chelsea do the minimum required stuff? They always go. Cup winners cup to hai. Chelsea has everything. Chelsea has everything, man. Should Arsenal sign? We've done an entire stream on this Hardik bhai yesterday, and I'll get a video out as well by the weekend on this as well. So Daksh bhai, Chelsea won UECL, qualified for the UCL. Spurs won UEL, qualified for the UCL. And Arsenal still won nothing once again. And we also qualified for the UCL. Do you still want to argue that Arsenal has a better season? Bullshit. Okay. See, man, I 100% agree, man. All your clubs have had a better season. Here is my logic. I think if you are in school and your aim is the IIT, Delhi, Bombay, Kanpur, whatever, Kharagpur, whatever it is. And then there is another guy in your class. Um, has been in a terrible run of academic form for the last 3 years. And his dad says, मुझे बख्श दे, मैं तेरे को बिजनेस संभालने दूंगा, बस किसी भी कॉलेज में चले जा. And he goes into KIIT, right? And then you fail to get into IIT and he gets into KIIT and he says, देख मेरे पास कॉलेज है, तेरे पास आज क्या है. And if you feel bad about it, that's fine, dude. But if I have to eventually just try out for a KIIT entrance exam, no offense to KIIT, by the way, don't sue me or anything. तो आप लोग, I don't want to be a part of a competition which would require me to be worse in the Premier League. But ठीक है यार, if you are happy with your season, भाई आप मजे करें. मैं लाइफ में एक ही चीज बोलता हूँ दोस्तों, there might be times in your life, especially if you're virgins, that people will get lucky. ठीक है, people will get lucky. When I say people will get lucky, I mean they're getting laid. And yes, you might feel jealous that everyone is getting laid, but try and avoid going for the same experience by going to a red light district because it's easier and you can pay your way through it. It's gonna happen eventually. Don't worry, it's gonna happen eventually. 50 lakhs of football with Daksh's finest. अब KIIT मुझे करेगा defamation. ना 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 ना. Best thing about bad seasons is it either gets rid of the casual fans or it makes existing fans stronger. If I have to get a little meta about this, na Jeetu bhai, like jokes aside, अगर हम seriously बात करें, I think something ugly has come up when it comes to this Arsenal's season and Arsenal fans. And when I say something ugly has come up, one of the things that I've noticed that is happening is there is this sudden need of external validation that a lot of Arsenal fans have suddenly creeped into. Like, I understand it started as a joke, it treble of second places and, no European trophies. And I was like, I mean, it's a joke. This is what the entire thing is. Like, people want to laugh, they're obviously laughing. But then I suddenly realized people, especially Arsenal fans, are actually taking it in a very serious manner. Like, people have somehow actually convinced themselves second three times in a row is obviously not good enough for a club which has high ambitions. But people have somehow convinced themselves that it's the worst place to be in as an Arsenal fan. I would have offed myself if this happens again next year. And I think uh, eventually, eventually, ये एक sort of चीज बहुत गंदी तरीके से हम realize करेंगे as fans that this is not the best place to be second again, but it's nowhere near the sort of disaster that people are making it out to be. You are in a pretty good position to challenge again. But I think people are somehow just convinced themselves that we need to get worse, play in a European competition which is lower than the Champions League, win a trophy so we can show it off to our internet friends. Like, you know how sometimes some parents have this very weird itch कि मेरा बेटा जब फर्स्ट आएगा मैं भी शो ऑफ करूंगा कि अपने दोस्तों को, अपने कॉलीग्स को, कि देखो मेरा बेटा फर्स्ट आया है, मेरी बेटी फर्स्ट आई है. आई थिंक दैट इज समहाउ जस्ट इन अ वेरी वियर्ड वे creeped up into the Arsenal fan base. And look, I have zero problem of people thinking they've had a better season than Arsenal. That's completely fine. That enjoy it. Uh, but if I'm speaking to Arsenal fans, don't let your sense of happiness or sadness be related to what some other club is doing. If you are unhappy with your season कि हम second आ गए, हमने कप पे challenge नहीं किया, Champions League में we could have done better with PSG, and that is why I'm disappointed, 100% legitimate. But if your area of sadness is Spurs भी जीत गए दक्ष भाई, न्यूकासल भी जीत गए दक्ष भाई, पैलेस भी जीत गए दक्ष भाई, चेल्सी भी जीत गए दक्ष भाई, हम कब जीतेंगे दक्ष भाई? If your sense of worth of your club is coming from how good or bad others are, then you're not a fan of Arsenal. You're a fan of the appreciation from other clubs. And I can tell you this, no club wants Arsenal. Like, if a rival club won't want Arsenal to be a big club, Arsenal won't want any of their rivals to be big clubs. थोड़ा सा relax करो. I don't think Messi भाई जो आप कह रहे हो बिल्कुल सही है. Nobody in Arsenal says हमें ट्रॉफी नहीं जीतने की जरूरत है. I would be very surprised if you find a single Arsenal fan that says, I don't want to win a trophy. Uh, I think the point of difference is what do we do when we don't win it, right? So, all Arsenal fans, चाहे ऑनरी हो, मैं हूँ, कोई आर्टेटा आउट वाला हो, कोई आर्टेटा इन वाला हो, कोई किसी और वाला, किसी और का भी फैन हो, लेगेसी फैन, परसों से देखने वाला फैन, every fan wants to win. We all are agreement in that. The difference in people ki opinion comes from the fact what do we do if we don't win, and how many times do we wait if we don't win. For some people it is okay, this chapter is closed, it's time to write a new chapter in the club with a new guy in charge. For some people it is like maybe it's not the end of the story, maybe let's drag a couple of more chapters with this guy. For some people it's like burn the club down, it's over, it's khatam, it's all over. And I think that's where the difference is. So Henri's point on trophies, everyone agrees on it. I think the question on what people are usually sort of disagreeing with Henri is one. He said Arteta did not want a striker, he wanted Sterling, which I think is false. And I think the other thing is about him saying कि staff की गलती है कि हमारे players injure हो रहे हैं. Baki on the trophies and the finals thing, I think I also agree with him. I have zero problems with him. But the worst thing that has happened of that Henri interview is people have made it into, do you like Arteta or do you like Henri? It's moved away from Arsenal and it's already divided the fan base into Henri or Arteta. If you say नहीं नहीं मिस्टर आर्टेटा ने ये नहीं बोला है, आई डोंट अग्री विद मिस्टर ऑनरी, यू सडनली बिकम, तुम लेजेंड को डिसरिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हो. And if you agree with what Henri is saying, you're like, you're not a fan of this Arteta guy, man. Leave the club, leave with him. So it's just created a very unnecessary divide, mere hisab se dost, in the fan base, which again, I don't think necessarily, if Arsenal fans actually stop and think about it, we all want the same thing. Henri makes some great points. But now it's not Arsenal ka betterment, it's Henri or Arteta, which I think is just manufactured by the media. Naveen bhai, congratulations first of all on winning the Conference League. And thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships, man. Love you so much, dude. Love you so much. Arsenal are not a big club. And I agree. In terms of the economics, in terms of the size of the fan base, we are a big club. But if you look at actual successes, we have not competed for the league in the last 20 years. In fact, these 3 years are the closest we have actually been since the last time we won the league. Post the last league title that we actually won, we have finished second 4 times. Once when Leicester won the league, and the other 3 times under Arteta. So I would completely understand if people were like, नहीं नहीं हम पहले लीग्स जीते थे, आर्टेटा के आने से हमने सेकंड आना शुरू कर दिया और हमें एक्सेप्टेबल है. एक्चुअली वो बात नहीं है, हम कभी सेकंड नहीं आते थे, इनफैक्ट हम फोर्थ ही आते थे. एंड देन इवेंचुअली हम चैंपियंस लीग से बाहर हो गए और उसके बाद हम यूरोप से बाहर हो गए. So you're right. In terms of big, consistent successes, all our successes are actually just the FA Cups. That's it. FA Cups, one Carabao Cup, and that is pretty much it. We were in the doldrums. And now people are saying ki this is not good enough, which is obviously true. This is not the best position to be in. But it's time to win the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Can Arteta manage cups with league run? Yeah, that is one of his biggest problems. I think he cannot manage 2 competitions. This season, he decided to manage the Champions League and the Premier League. And wo bhi, I think, to an extent, he managed. He needs to manage cup runs a lot better. Yeah. Newcastle haven't won a trophy in last so many years, but their fan atmosphere is bigger than United in Old Trafford. वो तो I think fan culture. I don't think you can really L down to anything like that. Gyokeres Chelsea जा सकता है क्या? I think so he can. I think Chelsea will go for either Ekitike or Gyokeres. Outside chance of Osimhen, but I don't think that's going to happen. But that will probably lead to some striker leaving, like Gu or Jackson or somebody else leaving, because can't play with so many strikers. Will Delap be the starting striker? I don't know. Will it be Gyokeres if he comes? I don't know. I think Gyokeres genuinely is a better fit for Chelsea than for Arsenal. Transitions and spaces बहुत होती हैं Chelsea पे. But again, if Chelsea resort back to that crossing and crossing wala stuff, then Gyokeres is not a great fit. Ekitike is a good player to buy because he has all the potential to be one of the best in the world. And Chelsea के पास इतना भी young squad है, they can afford to develop him. Money should not be an issue as well for them. So I personally feel Chelsea will get two strikers, yaar dost. It's not about wanting, it's about getting it. Maybe some things are generally not right. Talking about the social media outreach, we all agree things are not right, yeah. In terms of squad ka balance, in terms of recruitment, we are 1 year behind our recruitment now. And what when I said about the wanting thing, I think there is this, for some reason there is this very weird notion that Arsenal fans are okay with not winning. I don't think that's the case. That's it. अरे यार वो तो अलग ही बंदा है, लेट हिम बी, वो तो उसको तो क्या ही बोल सकते हैं बंदे को. Alright, let me just skip some. DDTV, thank you so much, yaar. Love Khaldun, he holds city standards very high. Yes. I will say this. If you have not watched it yet, watch Khaldun Al Mubarak, who is City's CEO, I think. He has put out an interview on Manchester City ka YouTube page. It's a very good interview. It's exactly how every club ka executive should be talking to us after every season. It will give you an idea of what that guy's vision is, how reflective he is on the previous season, and how focused he is on the upcoming season. And you will see why City ke standards itne high, and you will see how they're actually pursuing these things. So yeah, I think it's a good interview to watch. मैनचेस्टर सिटी के यूट्यूब पेज पे जाके खल्दून और मुबारक का 26 मिनट का एक सिट डाउन इंटरव्यू है with Manchester City. What are my expectations from Arteta? It's pretty simple, dude. I want us to win one of the big trophies, one of the Premier League or the Champions League. A cup, while welcome, and it will be good for the squad to finally get that taste of winning. I will still say, if आर्सेनल को, मान लो आर्सेनल के स्क्वाड को एक चीज प्रायोरिटाइज करनी होगी, एक कप रन या फिर प्रीमियर लीग, आई विल स्टिल से वी शुड गो फॉर द प्रीमियर लीग. अगर हमारे पास दोनों रियलिस्टिक जीतने के चांसेस हैं, गो फॉर द प्रीमियर लीग, बिकॉज आई टेल यू एन एफए कप विल बी गुड फॉर द स्क्वाड. इट विल बी गुड टू गेट सम प्रेशर ऑफ आर्टेटा. इट विल बी रियली रियली नाइस. बट हम सब चाहते हैं कि वो एक प्रीमियर लीग जो 21 साल, पता नहीं अब तो बहुत साल, 21 साल होने वाले हैं प्रीमियर लीग जीते हुए, यू हैव टू एंड दैट ड्राउट. And if you turn out to be one of the managers who ends Arsenal's European drought, first Champions League trophy ever, then I think that's what you should aim for. I'm not saying winning the domestic cups is easy or anything. I am telling you, in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to change much for Arsenal if we start absolutely sucking in the league, get out of the Champions League in like the round of 16, and make a deep cup run. It's not going to be indicative. It's going to be a sort of a pain relief. आपके हाथ वाथ टूट गए हैं, आपने एक पेन रिलीफ मेडिसिन लगा दी है कि चलो एटलीस्ट वी हैव द कप गोइंग फॉरवर्ड. बिकॉज आई कैन प्रॉमिस यू, an FA Cup would be nice for me. I'll celebrate it like any other trophy. Or Carabao would be nice for me. I'll celebrate it like any other trophy. बट अगर एक ऐसी सिचुएशन आ जाती है जहाँ पे हम चैंपियंस लीग की स्पेसेस से बाहर हो जाते हैं और हम प्रीमियर लीग में सिक्स्थ हैं और हम FA कप जीत जाते हैं, सेलिब्रेशन उस FA कप की भी होगी, बट जो एक्चुअल पेन होगा that you're finally out, like you're somehow out of the Champions League places and you've regressed massively. Trust me, man, no FA Cup is going to solve that pain. Trust me. You need to maintain a minimum level of standard is what I'm saying. If PSG wins UCL, then Arsenal needs to win big things real quick, because then not Madrid, PSG will also push for Saliba. Look, man, that is obviously true. First of all, there is no guarantee in football. Winning, not winning will make sure that your players stay, but not winning makes it easier for them to leave, right? So I completely understand Salibas and the Sakas and whoever else people might think are good players at Arsenal. They might be thinking, yaar, yahan pe to kuch nahi ho raha, it's time for me to move on and actually win things because mera career and everything hai. So I don't think whether PSG wins or Inter wins is going to be a huge problem. Arsenal needs to derive its own version of success from itself, not from who else is winning or who else is not winning. You cannot go into the next season thinking, chalo, at least Manchester United are in a worse position than us, and be like, हाँ, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. मैं कहता हूँ कि कोई और टीम नहीं जीतती ट्रॉफी. मान लो चेल्सी नहीं जीतती, स्पर्स नहीं जीतती, यूनाइटेड नहीं जीतती, सिटी नहीं जीतती, सिर्फ लिवरपूल जीतती. You cannot suddenly go out and be like, चलो हमारा तो बेकार सीजन भी नहीं था. नहीं, it is, you've fallen well short of your expectations. You did not challenge for the league. You did some business in the Champions League, which is fair enough, but you again fell short in the domestic cups. So we have woefully underachieved. What do you do about it? That is the thing. And it has nothing to do with United, has nothing to do with Spurs, has nothing to do with Chelsea. Chelsea had some goals at the beginning of the season, Conference League जीतना है, top 4 Champions League में आना है. They've achieved their goals. That's a great season for them. For Spurs, they've achieved what they wanted. They wanted a trophy at any cost. Yes, the league form is absolutely crap. Somehow, I guess, they have, in a way, weird way, achieved their goal. Although I don't think any Spurs fan would have started the season saying कि हम 17th plus एक Europa League जीतेंगे. But regardless, somehow they've achieved their goal. Same with Liverpool. They wanted to challenge for the league. They challenged for it. In fact, they won it. And they've also achieved their goals. So it's all about what your goals are at the beginning of the season and how far or how close you are or whether you achieve them or not. And I don't think Arsenal achieved their goals. And that is it. Arsenal's success or Arsenal's failure of a season is all on Arsenal. It's got nothing to do with somebody playing in the Championship, somebody playing in the Conference League, somebody playing in the Europa League. If that is your version of success or failure, then trust me, you are not seeking Arsenal ka betterment, you're seeking validation. You are looking at them saying, अब मुझे acknowledge करो, which is not gonna happen. It'll never happen. ठीक है? आपकी वो रील देखी है जिसमें कि आपने यूनाइटेड को पेला. I don't know, man. Look, man, the point of that reel, the point of that video was completely different and it's just gone out of hand. I'm no wonder I had to private that reel because now everyone has turned it into Daksh Mohak wala thing. ठीक है? The language you're saying United को पेला, मोहक को ये कर दिया, वो कर दिया was not the point of it. My entire point was कि फुटबॉल के डिस्कोर्स बिल्कुल ब्रोकन हो चुका है. लोग आजकल फुटबॉल की बातें नहीं कर रहे हैं, लोग एक बहुत अलग पर्सपेक्टिव से फुटबॉल को देखने लगे और उसके बारे में बात करने लगे हैं. और उसका एक एग्जाम्पल देने के लिए मैंने वो यूनाइटेड वाला रैंट दिया था. नॉट इट वॉजंट माई रिफ्लेक्शन ऑन यूनाइटेड. आई if there is a club in the Premier League I follow as closely in terms of news, transfers, finances, all that stuff, it's United. Because honestly, it is the biggest culture moving club in England. You have to follow United कि उनके साथ क्या चल रहा है. It is how it is. It makes sense for me from a business perspective कि United fans बहुत सारे हैं. So they will be there in the community a lot more. They will have questions a lot more. You need to answer those questions honestly a lot more. But वो वीडियो अब कहीं और ही चला गया. I'm not sure about sacking Arteta, but Barca ने जावी sack किया even after उसने बारसा को स्टेबल किया, फ्लिक को साइन किया and they won the domestic treble. आर्सेनल को ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. यार, I completely understand where this comes from and I am 100% in favor of this if there is a manager who is available that is going to move and wants to come to Arsenal. Don't give me the Zidans. Don't give me the Iraolas. Don't give me a Thomas Frank. Ancelotti available tha. He's in Brazil. I don't think any other top level manager like Flick has sextuples and trophies on trophies and trophies on trophies. And you can be like, ठीक है, अच्छी बात है, Flick ले आए, winning manager ले आए, ये ले आए. Who else is available to sack Arteta and replace him with? If there is a legitimate contender who is sitting free right now and is willing to come to England and coach Arsenal, sign me up. Sign me up if you feel that is the right way to go about it. That's it. And while it worked at Barcelona, I think it worked at Barcelona for a large part because of the academy kids you had, and the academy kids work really well for you because of what Javi did. Maybe Arteta has set the club to a particular level, but for now, for me, there is not a coach right now who I think can take over from Arteta at Arsenal right now and do a better job. Somebody with a storied past of a lot of trophies, somebody who can make us an exciting attacking outfit, somebody who can overcome the flaws of Arteta right now. That is what I feel. Did Chelsea have a better season than Arsenal and City? Look, man, like I said, if you've achieved your goals, I think you've had a great season. Your success and failure should not be based on City and Arsenal. It's all on what Chelsea have done. That's it. कैसे हो आप लोग? What did Luis Enrique so bad when you were second the first time? I understand. Not even Thomas Frank. Look, man, if you feel Thomas Frank is an upgrade over Arteta, then we'll have a fundamental disagreement. I personally don't think Thomas Frank is a better manager than Arteta. And I think that's where I stand on. Brendan Rodgers, फेयर इनफ मैन, इफ यू थिंक दैट इट इज। जहाँ तक मुझे लगता है, सिटी को हमेशा बोला जाता है कि उनके फैंस नहीं है, डिल्यूजनल है, बट मैं 6 साल से सिटी देख रहा हूँ, मुझे हमेशा ऐसा लगता है सिटी नो नॉनसेंस क्लब है, वो हमेशा नो नॉनसेंस क्लब है। यार कॉन्टे का ऐसा आ रहा है कि अपेरेंटली ही इज ईदर गोइंग टू गो स्टे एट नेपली और ही इज गोइंग टू गो टू अनदर सीरिया क्लब, एंड फेयर इनफ मैन। If Jurgen was willing to come, of course, why wouldn't you? But he's not willing to come, right? That's the whole point. So it's very easy to say, man, get him out. But who? People will say Simone Inzaghi. Okay, he's moving to Al Hilal. You know why he's moving to Al Hilal? They're going to pay him 25 million net. 25 million, chat. A quarter of 100 million. Oh my God, 25 million net. So you don't really know. Arsenal need an experienced manager. Like, don't give me like, give me the name. Give me the name. That's the whole thing. So I am ready to abandon the process. I will say F the process today if there is a legitimate, achievable, gettable, and available manager better than Arteta right now. Not better ki nahi nahi Daksh bhai, Thomas Frank is better than Arteta. If that's your belief, then I just don't agree with it. That's it. Germany's manager again, gettable, right? Gettable कहाँ है? अभी वर्ल्ड कप ईयर आने वाला है. Do you think he's going to leave Germany midway and then say नहीं नहीं मैं आर्सेनल आना चाहता हूँ? ऐसी थोड़ी बात है. Conte knows how to win the league, but Conte ain't coming to the Premier League. That is what I'm saying. So, suggest me a manager, Germany's manager after World Cup. That's great. After World Cup is one more year. So, what do you really want to do from that? Como ka manager, Cesc Fabregas. Again, you are going for another manager who is, let's be honest, Arteta hasn't achieved much, but he still has achieved one FA Cup. You're going for a manager who's not done anything. That's fine if that's what you want to go for, man. हाँ डूड, आने वाला है डेलैप चेल्सी में. मेरे हिसाब से चेल्सी डेलैप को एकदम रिकवर, एकदम परफेक्टली पकड़ लेगी. ही इज अ गुड स्ट्राइकर टू गेट. होम ग्रोन है, यंग है, फिजिकल है, स्ट्रांग है, एयर में अच्छा है. आई थिंक 1v1 ही इज गोना बी बेटर देन जैक्सन. I don't know what's going to happen with Jackson though. Because if Chelsea get two strikers, I don't know how Chelsea is going to face Jackson. Gasperini is leaving Atalanta. Gasperini could be a very interesting choice. But Gasperini will also take 1 or 2 years. Because we're going to transition to his man-to-man 3 at the back system. Javi really suits at Spurs. I agree. Javi might also suit at Arsenal. It is a possibility. That's the only thing. Allegri is going to Milan, so he is also not available. Joachim Low hasn't managed in God knows how long, दोस्तों. आपने जिडान को कभी नहीं लैंड करा सकते because he has made clear exactly my point. So people saying Zidane, no problem. That's what I'm saying. What's your say if Arsenal goes trophyless again next season? Yeah, so like I said, regardless of what I think he is done. I think मैंने जैसे जीतू भाई को भी बोल रहा था मैं, this sort of very weird sense of external validation जो आ गया ना, I don't think Arteta survives it. There is so much negative sentiment in the fan base. Some of it is very well deserved, but some of it is just, it's going to make sense of how stupid we look right now much later. If you're an Arsenal fan who's been an Arsenal fan for around 10ish years, I'm not even saying 15 20 years, 10ish years, there was a very popular joke. Top 5 places to go eat in Delhi. First year, second year, third year, fourth Arsenal, fifth year. Right? So the joke was fourth Arsenal. No matter what happens, Arsenal fourth आएगी हमेशा. And we were in like financial trouble. बहुत सारे issues थे. हम fourth आते थे. बीच में FA Cups उठा लेते थे. And then, you know, that sense of external validation started कि Arsenal need to compete for the big trophies, man. FA Cups ठीक है यार, क्या फर्क पड़ता है FA Cups? You won 14 FA Cups, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Go win the league ना, अगर तुम्हारी बस के. Go win the Champions League. Compete तो करो इनके लिए. हमने then we fell out, then we started competing, and now the external validations is क्या ही कर रहे हो तुम लोग? कुछ कर थोड़ी रहे हो. FA Cup तो जीत के दिखाओ. Carabao तो जीत के दिखाओ. And I don't think ये सिलसिला रुकने वाला है, no matter what we do. Company, if you feel so, man, if you feel so. Company has won the league, Bundesliga जीत चुका है. So in that sense, he fills the winner criteria. He's obviously won more than Arteta. And yeah, I ask you, man, do you think Company should be Arsenal's next manager? Let me know. Um, Liverpool squad is illegal. It's a squad they've built, man. It's a squad they've built. No, no, no. I'm not even saying trust the process. I'm saying F the process. But get me the guy who can F the process, right? Uh, so F the process. I'll tell you this right now. I will be Arteta outright this second if you can give me an achievable, gettable manager right now. Somebody who has said, I'm looking for a new challenge. I don't mind coming to England. I want to see what it's like. Javi is the only one. Now, Javi or Arteta, that is something we can have a nice discussion on. Where I think Javi is a very good manager to have. Winning standards, pragmatic, youth को chance देता है, balance अच्छे से करता है. But of course, people will also tell you some of his issues also at Barcelona. Ranieri, again, if you think Ranieri is the one to bring Arsenal to the glory stages, fair enough, dude, fair enough. Um, Ancelotti वहां से उसने लीग जीत दिया था. I have so much respect for Javi. Oh, 100%. Javi is a great manager, dude. थैंक यू सो मच नेट भाई फॉर गिफ्टिंग अ मेंबरशिप. जिसको भी मेंबरशिप मिली है, थैंक यू सो मच. कल मैं अपलोड करना भूल गया यार डिस्कॉर्ड लिंक. आज करता हूँ मैं. Armenia Bielefeld manager reached DFB Pokal final with a third division team. Congratulations to Armenia Bielefeld ka manager. May you get all these successes every year. Mourinho, I think, is happy in Turkey. Unai Emery, Eric Ten Hag, Carlo Ancelotti after the World Cup. It will end after the PL and UCL only. Maybe, dude. Maybe. But you're right. I think it'll end after the PL and UCL. Pellegrini, who is a good manager, dude. Pellegrini, Mancini, um, और क्या गैस्परीनी इटालियन मतलब एक चिलियन दो इटालियन all great managers to have as long as they want to move. Ernesto Valverde, okay. Uh, See, this is what I'm saying, right? I've literally said the words, fuck the process, just get me a better manager than him. I'm still telling you, F the process, get me a better manager than him. If you can, I'm very happy. If Arsenal today sacks him and gets a better manager, very happy. But if they sack him and they get, I don't know, uh, Ruud Van Nistelrooy, or they get Thomas Frank, I'll still support the manager no matter what the club gets because that's me being a fan. But I don't think it'll be a smart decision. That's what I feel. Get an upgrade then. Get an upgrade. Deserby would be a very interesting choice. Hasn't won much, but very interesting philosophically. But again, that's another process. So the jokes which were about us finishing second will turn into us finishing fourth. Another trust the process, and that is it. No one blaming management of Arsenal for not. I feel like आपने वो गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स में देखा जब जॉन स्नो के सामने वो घोड़ों का झुंड आ रहा होता है एंड ही इज जस्ट लाइक एक तलवार लेके खड़ा हुआ है. दैट्स व्हाट आई फील समटाइम्स मैन. No, I think the management and even Arteta to an extent have absolutely fucked up, man. ये जो हम signings इस साल कर रहे हैं, this should have happened last year. And now we're an entire year behind. And now everyone else has had 1 year. They've absolutely taken 1 year to absolutely catch up with us. Now we still need a striker जो हमें last year चाहिए था. We still need a creative midfielder जो last year चाहिए था. We still need a winger जो last year चाहिए था. It sucks, dude. Absolutely sucks कि हमने सबको एक free का साल दे दिया. Yeah, Fabregas, Liao, it's another process. Let's wait, man. Luis Enrique after 1 year. Do not think he's leaving PSG, man. Bielsa, Conte is staying at Napoli. Yeah, so yeah, we will address this one. Well, Argentinian players like De Paul Alvarez wants to waste their career by playing for Atletico. They can easily be starter for any CL contender like Real, Barca, or City. I don't think for them they are wasting their careers. They are in a perennial UCL contending team. They get paid very handsomely. They live in a beautiful city of Madrid. They get a great fan base. They have a superb coach in them. That is why I think they're there. देखो यार, फुटबॉल में मैड्रिड एक बहुत जाइगैंटिक क्लब है, बार्सिलोना एक बहुत जाइगैंटिक क्लब है, सिटी अब एक जाइगैंटिक क्लब बन रहा है, यूनाइटेड जाइगैंटिक क्लब है, चेल्सी है, लिवरपूल है, मिलान है, इंटर है, बट बहुत सारे क्लब्स को आप जाइगैंटिक कह सकते हो, ठीक है। उसमें से अगर सभी टॉप थ्री के लिए खेलने लग जाएंगे तो फिर बाकी क्लब्स क्या करेंगे? तो इट दिस इज नॉट हाउ इट वर्क्स मैन. What do you think will be the realistic expectations from your side if both Ekitik and Delap for Chelsea? I genuinely think, मजाक भी नहीं कर रहा, I genuinely think Chelsea challenges for the title next season. I think जो हमने recruitment में गलतियां करी हैं, that will catch up with us next season. And we'll actually fall into a top four battle. प्रेशर बहुत ज़्यादा है टू गेट थिंग्स राइट. आई थिंक फिटनेस पे हमने बहुत ज़्यादा ही एम्फेसिस डाल दिया है सबके, एंड some people will break down next season again. The negative sentiment plus the pressure plus the fact that Chelsea is recruit अच्छे से, Liverpool will recruit अच्छे से, and Liverpool will recruit अच्छे से. I have a feeling Chelsea will be in and around a title challenge. I don't think they'll necessarily win it. I think it will still be between Liverpool and City, but I think Chelsea will be that third team next year. That's what I feel. And you know me, I'm a super optimistic Arsenal fan, but I think हमारी गलती अब हमें catch up करना शुरू कर देंगी. We've taken our spot for granted for one entire year, and now we're going to suffer for it. Can it be overcome? Of course. But it's just going to get tougher and tougher every year because teams will go stronger and stronger every year. न्यूकासल के लिए सबसे अच्छी बात होगी उनका कोर एक साथ सेटल हो गया. If they get Joan Garcia, if they start building something special, maybe we'll even become a fifth team. So, ये next season suffering वाला होने वाला है. It's not gonna get bad till the point हम 14-15 पे पहुंच जाएंगे. It's not gonna get that bad. But Chelsea will obviously take मेरे हिसाब से a giant step. That's what I feel. Scaloni after World Cup. See, all these names are great. Again, none of them have confirmed they're leaving after the World Cup. वरना तो आप स्पेन के मैनेजर को भी बोल दो डेला फुएंटे आ जाएगा दक्ष भाई, ऑफ कोर्स बोल दो, उसमें क्या है. बट वो सारी चीज है. कॉन्टे स्टेइंग एट नापोली ब्रदर्स, कॉन्टे स्टेइंग एट नापोली. आपकी सेकंड टीम का क्या चल रहा है? मेरी कौन सी सेकंड टीम की बात कर रहे हो? मैड्रिड अभी रिक्रूट कर रही है. अगर आप आयरिश लोकल टीम की बात कर रहे हो तो अभी जीत रहे हैं वो. यश वाईजेआर अम्बुआमो गोइंग टू न्यूकासल, आई थिंक दैट्स अ बेटर फिट. यस ब्रदर, आई थिंक चेल्सी 2 स्ट्राइकर्स साइन करेगी इस विंडो में. वेदर इट विल बी ग्योकरेस और डेलैप एंड एकेटीके, वो देखना पड़ेगा. जीशान भाई, सोनिया बोम्पास्तो, Consecao, I don't think is that level. Otherwise, he would not be leaving Milan. Although his leaving for Milan is like different reason. ठीक है भाई, Bielsa I think Arsenal में आ जाना चाहिए. If that's what you want me to say, would you take Bielsa at your club, Kush bhai? Let me know. Let me know if you'll take. Igor's match. Javi might be good. He's the only one man. One season to Berta x Arteta. Naveen bhai, I think मैंने जैसे बोला, I think everyone's so on the edge this season कि ट्रांसफर विंडो से पहले ही बर्टा को निकल जाना चाहिए अगर उसने ये नहीं किया है. अभी विंडो शुरू भी नहीं हुई है एंड हमने एक साइनिंग कर ली, लिवरपूल ने एक साइनिंग कर ली, सिटी कर देगी अभी, चेल्सी ऑलमोस्ट करने वाली है, यूनाइटेड ने एक कर दिया है. सब ने एक ही साइनिंग करी है. जो क्लब वर्ल्ड कप वाले ऑब्वियसली दे विल बी लिटिल मोर एक्टिव, बट एवरीवन सो ऑन द एज. मुझे नहीं लगता, आई जेन्युइनली डोंट थिंक आर्टेटा सर्वाइव्स बियॉन्ड दिस ईयर. And I think he'll leave because it'll just get too negative. It'll just get too negative around the club right now. That's it. Somehow, somewhere, I think Arsenal fans have convinced themselves that this is a disaster, that we are in the worst possible position that a club can be. And I think जब 1-2 साल में हम खुद देखेंगे because of our recruitment failures, or let's say some new manager comes in and it doesn't work out, and we will see other clubs being in second and competing in the Champions League, we're going to try and banter them in the same way and they're going to be like, हट, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता उनको. यही सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है आर्सेनल के फैन बेस में और बाकी फैन बेसिस में. हमारे ना खुद के क्लब में प्राइड एकदम खत्म हो गया है और हम एक्सटर्नल वैलिडेशन के बहुत भूखे हो चुके हैं. राहुल गोंजालेस को ले लो भाई, राहुल गोंजालेस को टॉप लेवल तो मैनेज करने दो, बहुत बहुत टाइम है. Don't be so pessimistic regarding new manager. You have great players. You never know. I am 100% saying um, that a new manager can completely change the system, can completely make us win. It's just about finding that new manager. In my head, Inzaghi. In my head, Flick. In my head, Luis Enrique. In my head, a Klopp-like manager. In my head, there are several managers who can do a phenomenal job with our squad. ठीक है? But a lot of these managers who can do a phenomenal job with our squad already have other jobs and don't look like moving. Arteta से आधे टाइम में शाबी बेटर मैनेजर बन गया. Fair enough, fair enough. Again, if you feel Shabi is a better manager, I am nobody to question you, man. But I think what Arteta's task was and what Shabi's task was, Shabi did fantastic. Almost what? He did an invincible, right? Invincible double he did, I think. Or was it? Yeah. And now he is going to be Madrid coach. So maybe yeah, Shabi is a better manager, dude. 100%, 100%. Raul was not even doing that good with Castilla, which is what I'm saying. A lot of people like the names without understanding what the names actually did. Alex Ferguson जिंदा ही है भाई. फर्गी भाई, क्या कर रहे हो आप लोग? uh, हर जगह लुइस डियास टू बारसा, बट आई प्रेफर कोडी गैकपो टू बारसा. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? यार, हमें जो प्लेयर पसंद है और जो क्लब को या मैनेजर को चाहिए, वो बहुत अलग अलग चीज़ें हो सकती हैं. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हम प्योर नंबर्स की बात करें, it should be a no-brainer that a club that needs a striker should go for Victor Gyokeres. Arsenal ho, Chelsea ho, United ho, should go for Victor Gyokeres. Victor Gyokeres will work the best at United, second best at Chelsea, and I think the worst out of these three at Arsenal. Does it mean that Arsenal should not go for Gyokeres? No, go. But then you'll have to change your system to make sure Gyokeres की weaknesses ना झलके. ऐसे आपको क्रॉसेस कम करने पड़ेंगे, लो ब्लॉक्स के लिए अगेन आपको कोई और सोल्यूशन ढूंढना पड़ेगा, राइट? So what you might feel about Diaz कि मेरे को Diaz पसंद नहीं है या ये सब नहीं है, maybe what Flick envisions from that left winger is exactly what Diaz gives. Or maybe Rashford for that matter. Or maybe what your idea of Cody Gakpo is will not fit on what Hansi Flick's idea of a left winger is. So ये सारी चीजें हैं. दक्ष भाई, मेरे ऊपर वाला कमेंट विल ऐड टू द कमेंट, पुट माय पॉइंट बेटर. ऑलराइट मेसी भाई, आपका नाम मेसी है इसलिए मैं ले रहा हूँ आपका कमेंट. Wasn't Flick gonna take time or slot Tuchel in Chelsea? You never know, Daksh bhai. Big managers can really change your life. Both got to be bold and back their previous signings. Right now, team is very good. I think which is why we've also gotten Berta. Because, yeah, my thing is, if the board didn't trust Arteta, na, उसको लास्ट सीजन वो नया कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं देता है. जब उसको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दे दिया, then it makes sense to back him. If you don't give him his signings, that means you don't trust him, in which case just sack him. So that is what I feel. And you're right. Flick, Slot, Tuchel, all these guys come in, change the trajectory of the club. Absolutely, man. But the giants you are naming, chalo, Slot theek hai. Slot came from the Eredivisie and everything. But football people knew him. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. There is a good Italian coach. His name is Palladino. ठीक है? या अभी बोलोनिया का जो कोच है, Vincenzo Italiano. Really, really good coaches. They can come, sort of like Slot, tweak a bit of things, can make it work, can win the league. 100% possible. But Liverpool को जब Klopp को replace करना था, they went for Amrim, they looked at other people, finally they settled on Slot. It has to be a nice, long, exhaustive process. जो मुझे लगता है अभी क्लब अंडरटेक करने के लिए रेडी नहीं है. If it is an established match, मैं कहता हूँ, मान लो कार्लो एंचेलोटी बोलता कि मैं भी फ्री हूँ, आई वांट टू गेट बैक इनटू कोचिंग, आई डोंट वांट टू गो टू ब्राजील, आई वांट टू गेट बैक इनटू कोचिंग. एंड सडनली एक रूमर आता कि चलो एंचेलोटी इज ओपन टू टेकिंग ओवर एट आर्सेनल. आई बी लाइक, ले लो, अभी के अभी ले लो. इट्स समथिंग फ्रेश, इट्स समथिंग न्यू. द गाय नोज व्हाट ही इज टॉकिंग अबाउट. ही इज फिनोमिनल कोच. उसने एवर्टन जैसे क्लब को 10th कर दिया था. आर्सेनल को हो सकता है वो नेक्स्ट लाइन तक ले जाए. पॉसिबल. I'll be completely on board with it. But get me a giant of the game. I think Slot is an exception. He's not the rule. Slot is a great manager, but that is an exception. Okay? And that is what I feel. Um, so get me a giant of the game. I will be on you in kicking Arteta out right now. I'll be with you right now. But get me a giant of the game. Get me a Tuchel. Get me a Flick. Get me an Ancelotti. Get me the Inzagis. Whatever. Get me a giant of the game. Even if let's say Conte says मैं निकल रहा हूँ Serie A से. Fine, I'll even take Conte. But then of course Conte का back three, उसको नई signings, all that stuff. Mota, again, you're stepping sideways. You're not stepping up. Even if Mota is a nice revolutionary coach, he needs signings to implement his system. We are in the same boat as of right now, except a manager जिसके पास ये players उसके नहीं है. That's it. So it's a sideways step at best. That's what I feel. I don't know, dude. Jonathan David is a sort of player that I think a lot of clubs should be all over, but for some reason are not. I thought Barca जा सकता है वो. That interest is cooled down. I thought Chelsea ले सकती है. That is obviously now not happening. It's probably just United now, dost. I don't know why people aren't getting Jonathan David. Don't know why. Must be something. Must be something. वो ये यार ग्योकरेस हो सेस्को हो बहुत सारी चीजें हो सकती हैं अच्छा अच्छा नहीं नहीं मैं माइंड नहीं करता डूड व्हेनेवर इट्स अबाउट टॉकिंग आर्सेनल आई विल टॉक इन अ नाइस काम चिल मैनर मेरे को उसकी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है आप अपनी मैं अपनी टीम को डाउन प्ले नहीं कर रहा हूँ आई थिंक वी हैव अ रियली गुड टीम आई जस्ट फील there is too much negative sentiment around the club now. I don't think anyone has patience anymore. And I don't think it's about just the disappointment from our own season. I think a lot of negative sentiment is from Chelsea ने ये कर लिया, United ने ये कर लिया, Spurs ने ये कर लिया. That's what I feel. Nah, look, man, Sir Alex is a different breed of manager. The guy did wonders at Aberdeen also, man. He beat Madrid in a final. Sir Alex is a completely different monster. Let's not go there and Arteta, please. Let's not do that. I think he can come to United. I think अब Delap अगर United ने miss out कर लिया है, then there's a bunch of other things, other players you can go for. Jonathan David, like I said, Gyokeres, like I said, Mbuemo also. But Mbuemo, I feel, fits better at Newcastle United. Klopp built the team, Slot unlocked it. 100%. अगर मोटा आएगा तो सब मैचेस ड्रॉ वी ऑलरेडी ड्रॉ लॉट ऑफ गेम्स ब्रदर दैट्स द प्रॉब्लम Wits to Liverpool feels like the version of KDB. You're right. Like Man City, can this window be unearthing of Liverpool's dominance in the next decade? I think Liverpool की जिस तरह से market जा रही है, the fact that they're also in for a striker, won't be surprised if they're also in for a defender who will take over eventually from Van Dijk, or if Konate decides not to sign a contract. Um, I think Liverpool are shopping and they're going to spend a good 250-ish million, 300-ish million. And they're going to basically shop for the next 3-4, at least 3-4 years. So, जैसे मोरिनियो ने कहा था, investments from the past वाली जब हम बात कर रहे थे, what Jose Mourinho was saying, these are the windows where you impact, where you buy some very important players and consolidate your position in the league. अभी Arsenal को कंसोलिडेट करना है बट दे विल स्ट्रगल इट्स लाइक फ्लोटिंग ऑन एवर राइजिंग वाटर लिवरपूल अगर वर्ड्स मैं कहता हूँ एकेटिके या ग्योकरेस कर्केस फ्रिम्पोंग एक सेंटर बैक एक सीडीएम मामरदाशविली ऑलरेडी आ चुका है if they get these sort of players they are sorted for the next 6 years dude they're sorted for the next 6 years एंड फिर धीरे धीरे आपको कुछ प्लेयर्स को इवेंचुअली साला को रिप्लेस करना पड़ेगा इवेंचुअली आपके लेफ्ट विंगर्स गैक्पो या डियास को जोटा को रिप्लेस करना पड़ेगा सोबसलाई ऑलरेडी छोटे मतलब 22-23 का है सोबसलाई राइट 24 मैक्स मैकैलिस्टर इज इन अ गुड हेल्दी एज ग्रेवन बर्च इज लाइक 22-21 एंडो ठीक है कैन बी द ओल्ड पापा ऑफ दैट ग्रुप व्हाटएवर मतलब for the next 6 years, Liverpool are sorted, and over the next 6 years, they just have to spend the 30 million, 60 million, whatever, and just keep refreshing the squad beach mein until a new cycle starts after 6-7 years. Ancelotti gonna upgrade Saka. Fair enough, man. Get me Ancelotti. Daksh bro, Rodgers to Chelsea के कितने chances है? I don't know. And I don't think Rodgers के ज़्यादा chances है considering आपके और कितने सारे players आ रहे हैं. Mancini would be very interesting, dude. Mancini would be very interesting. Already has experience in the Premier League, has significant international experience. Um, yeah, अभी सऊदी में भी कर रहा था वो. Mancini could be a good appointment, to be honest. Thank you so much, Annette bhai, for another membership यार. नहीं, I am not a Arteta lover. See, this is what people don't understand. My priority is, like every Arsenal fan, for Arsenal to win. In my head, Arteta gives us, right now, the best chance to win. If there is another manager who gives us a better chance to win, I'll back that guy. But at the end, I just want Arsenal to win. Whether it is through Arteta, whether it's through Ancelotti, whether it's through Fabregas, whether it's through Sean Dyche, I don't care as long as Arsenal wins. For me, right now, Arteta gives us the best chance of winning. Because for me, a person who can take a club which was pretty much dead in 8th, ninth positions, took over when we were 14th, and now has dragged us all the way to 2nd and has made us a serious Champions League club. I think if a person has so much capability to drag a club from that point to this point, I think he can take us from this point to the next point, which is winning. That is what my belief is. It's not got to do with loving Arteta or hating Arteta. It's always got to do with what is the best for Arsenal. If the best for Arsenal is beyond Arteta, sign me up. If the best for Arsenal is with Arteta, sign me up. For right now, for me, I don't see any other manager coming into this club and instantly making us win. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But for me, what logically makes sense to me is keeping Arteta and winning with him. He's built this squad, he has developed these players, he's made a lot of them. कि कब आए थे इतने बैलन डोर में? ठीक है, हम बैलन डोर में टॉप 10 में नहीं है, टॉप 3 में नहीं है, बट कब आर्सेनल के प्लेयर्स कब आपको याद है? ये अभी जब हम रोड्रिगो टू आर्सेनल वाले रूमर्स देख रहे हैं, ऐसे सुपरस्टार प्लेयर्स के रूमर्स आर्सेनल के साथ कितने साल बाद आ रहे हैं? हम सोच भी कैसे रहे हैं ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाट आई फील. My point is 90% of the cases, current Arsenal team is good, talented. The team can really do and win big ones. Saka, Skelly, Saliba, Timber, Rice, Nelly, all are world class. I'd say in Arsenal, Rice, Saka, Saliba, and probably Gabriel are world class. Everyone else is just one step niche. That's it. Jonathan David is going to Napoli. Interesting. Oh my God, at Conte's. Ugh. Yeah, actually, Osman's leaving. Lukaku is there. Huh. Interesting. Kvara क्यों नहीं लिया? We should have gone for it. Rodrigo will be perfect for our team. Will he come? Depends on Xabi and him, to be honest. Fabregas has a great season. Como making them qualify Europe. Would Arsenal be down to make him the next manager? Yeah, if you believe so, 100%. Why not? लपोर्ता जाकर 100 मिलियन प्लस का स्टार साइनिंग करेगा. नेक्स्ट ईयर इलेक्शंस है. आपने आई थिंक कल भी यही बोला था कि ही इज गोना मेक अ बिग स्प्लैश वेरी सून. विल सी ब्रदर, विल सी. Financial consider, I think you will start making those big money signings once Camp Nou is properly functioning again, bhai. Arsenal just need Gyokeres. I think Gyokeres ke sath there is some upside and some downside. The downside being the guy is not a great physical specimen. He needs a lot of space and low blocks against kya karega? मेरे को personally doubts है. But again, he is a gunman, dude. If you can get goals out of Havertz and Merino, you can fucking get goals out of Gyokeres, man. You can always coach it in him. Left foot, right foot, power strikes, physical fitness, सब बढ़िया रहती है Gyokeres के लिए. I don't mind either Sesko or Gyokeres. Just get me a good striker. That's it, man. Right now the striker market is cooked, दोस्तों. Sesko के लिए लोग 90 million मांग रहे pounds, which makes him a 100 million euro player. ठीक है? Gyokeres 65-70 million का है. I don't know, man. I don't know. दक्ष भाई, ये प्रोजेक्ट प्रोसेस सब फालतू ही होता है. रोमन इब्राहिमोविच वाली फिलॉसफी ही बेस्ट होती है. अभी जीतो, बेस्ट लाओ और जीतो. सही बात है, सही बात है. बट प्रॉब्लम ये हो जाती है कि जब आप ये फिलॉसफी कभी कभी अप्लाई करते हैं ना, तो इसके लेने के देने पड़ जाते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, what United did. Remember when they sacked Van Hal after the FA Cup? Big club, because FA Cup को कौन celebrate करता है? So removed Van Hal. Ole आया, a person who knew the club, took them to second, sacked him because come on, second कौन आता है? बड़ा club. So sacked him as well. Mourinho भी आया था बीच में, won the Europa League, came second in the league, another big achievement, but बड़ा club है United, sacked him. Uh, then Ten Hag came. सॉरी, उससे पहले रैगनिक आया था, नहीं चला कुछ भी, sacked him of course, 6 महीने में sacked him. And then Eric Ten Hag came, 2 trophies in 2 years, sacked him because बड़ा क्लब थोड़ी डोमेस्टिक कप्स जीत के खुश रहेगा. And now it's Ruben Amorim who's come to finals, and now बात हो रही है उसको अब टाइम देने की. And over the years, from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second and Mourinho's second and Ten Hag's fourth, fifth, sixth, eighth, whatever it was, to now finally being in 15, 16 position. So this philosophy looks great on paper. कि हाँ 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 हाँ. But if you don't know when to temper it, you go sliding down this league, especially year Chelsea की जो Abramovich वाली philosophy थी ना, a lot of it really worked because the league wasn't as competitive. Like Chelsea still finished 8th. That time 8th was the current 14th, 15th because you could easily climb back up. Ab there are 5 good teams at any year in this league. 5 good teams at least. ठीक है, मैं अगर नेक्स्ट ईयर मैं कहता हूँ आर्सेनल को हटा देते हैं, there will be Liverpool, there will be City, there will be Chelsea, there will be Newcastle, there will be Villa. That's 5 good teams at least. मैं तो आर्सेनल को गिन भी नहीं रहा. So this philosophy sometimes can backfire really badly. In fact, post Fergie, since Moyes से लेके अभी तक, no real season has been good enough for United fans, and we can talk about that in another video about what do United fans really, really want, right? With Ten Hag, one of the biggest criticisms for United was हमें हमने इसको आयाक्स टाइप फुटबॉल खेलने के लिए बुलाया था, इसने तो अडाप्ट कर लिया अपना सिस्टम, क्योंकि उस टेन हाग ने रियलाइज कर लिया कि मैं अपनी फिलॉसफी नहीं लगा सकती, प्लेयर्स केपेबल नहीं है. सैक्ड. Ruben Amorim is sticking to his philosophy, which is exactly what they wanted from Ten Hag, and now even he is not good enough. So there's a lot of things which happen, and there is no one size fits all. I understand what you're trying to say, that Ibrahimovic ki process or the way he operates is the most fixed, guaranteed way of success. But that is a different league. That was a different era. Slipping down for 1 year was fine because the next year you could climb back up like this. Now it's not anymore. Now, if you go out of the top 6, it's going to take you at least 2 to 3 years to get back. Look, Chelsea spent $1.5 billion to 1 billion, 1.5 billion, whatever it was. And in that time, whether they spent it on youth or whatever, $1.5 billion is a lot of money. And it still took them 3 years to get back into the top 4 and the Champions League. So, you're right, but that's also probably not applicable today. That's what I feel. Liverpool to City would be a good signing. Gyokeres to Liverpool would be a good signing. What? What? Wait. No way. भैंचो, तुम लोग कुछ भी लिखते रहते हो क्या? अरे तुम लोग कुछ भी लिखते रहते हो यार, दिमाग खराब, डरा दिया तुमने मुझे. I'm gonna skip some chats, man. भाई डराया मत करो ऐसे भाई, पागल हो क्या तुम? Do you think what's is all? I think it's gonna happen, dude. I think it's gonna happen. Liverpool won't fumble this. I think they've worked on this deal since March. And अगर लिवरपूल को थोड़ा सा भी लगता है कि प्लेयर डाउटफुल है, they pull out. They pull out, man. Um, Yeah, I think Ole title challenging season was one of the good season by United after Fergie, but they sacked him because it wasn't good enough anymore. That is it. एक स्ट्राइकर जो 20 प्लस गोल दे सकता है देन आर्सेनल किल कर सकती है। आर्सेनल की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है वो ड्रॉज फिर से अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते। 14 ड्रॉज करे हमने इस सीजन दोस्तों। दैट्स नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल। Sesko's number, do you mean his price? It's apparently being quoted around 90-92 million, man. Ryan Cherky to Arsenal. I think he's going to go. I don't see him. I don't even remember who the guy was. If there's a mod who can still see him, please time out de do usko, man. Shouldn't joke about the death of people, man. It's not good. Don't take evil like that on yourself. Yeah, if we had 14 में से हम 7 को wins में convert कर देते हैं तो क्या होता, बट वही वाली बात है, if my aunt had wheels she'd be a car and all that joke. Yes, I've seen and we've discussed this also. I necessarily don't disagree about the cups वाला point from Henry. That's it. आर्सेनल की बोगी टीम कौन सी है पीएल में? वेस्ट हैम, न्यू कासल एंड विला। आई थिंक दीज आर द 3 बोगीज। शिक 21, सोलथ 20, 2-3 years will be good for Arsenal. ऐसे तो यार मटेटा एम्बोमो एंड वीसा भी चल जाएंगे, बट वो ना अब एलीट लेवल चाहिए जो यूरोपियन एक्सपीरियंस वाले हैं। ऑल्दो शिक एंड सोलथ डू हैव यूरोपियन एक्सपीरियंस। I think these can be your backup options if neither Gyokeres or Sesko come. But yeah, Fulham नहीं रहे। Fulham से हम I think 2 बार हारे हुए out of like the last 11 times. That doesn't make them the bogey. I think a striker is a luxury for Liverpool. We need a CB first. No, you have Gomez, Kwanzaa, Konate, Van Dijk. That's 4 centre backs there, brother. हमसे Garnacho ले लो 60 million only. All right. Talk about Chelsea, bhai. Look, man, I've already said I think Chelsea takes a giant leap next season. Champions League is what they were seeking, and I think they're going to go a little bit ham in the market, which is crazy to think because Chelsea anyways go ham in the market. Champions League is a huge thing for Chelsea. It affords them to buy players of a special level. Delap, obviously लोग बोलेंगे Delap तो कुछ नहीं है, but I think Gyokeres, Ekitike become much more viable options considering the fact that Chelsea will be in the Champions League. Chelsea के लिए next season का biggest challenge होगा यूरोप को एंड प्रीमियर लीग को एक साथ मैनेज करना। ये सीजन चेल्सी ने अपने फर्स्ट हाफ ऑफ द सीजन में व्हेन दे वर सेटिंग अप द फाउंडेशन, यू नो, बिफोर द होल वी आर नॉट इन द टाइटल रेस वाला थिंग, they played a completely different squad in Conference League and they played a completely different squad in the Premier League. So the squad size enabled them to play just different teams, and because they were playing teams like Noah and Astana and Jew Garden and Shamrock Rovers and stuff like that, so जो भी है नेक्स्ट सीजन से वो रिस्पाइट नहीं मिलेगा. इट विल हैव टू बी 2 games a week. इट विल बी प्लेयर्स हु विल बी लिटिल मोर टायर्ड. थोड़ा और लोड मैनेजमेंट करना पड़ेगा. अभी एंजो एक अच्छे लेवल पे परफॉर्म कर रहा है, काइसेडो एक अच्छे लेवल पे परफॉर्म कर रहा है. आई पर्सनली फील थोड़ा रिक्रूटमेंट में चेल्सी अटैकर्स तो लेगी. अब वो देखने की काइसेडो 6 बनता है या लाविया काइसेडो एंजो का मिडफील्ड बनता है या क्या काइसेडो इन्वर्ट करता है, ये सारी ही चीज़ें पॉसिबल है. बट आई थिंक चेल्सी विल टेक अ जायंट लीप नेक्स्ट सीजन. आई डोंट नो हाउ द यूरोपियन कैंपेन गोज. A lot of it will depend on who they get matched up against. If they get like a PSG sort of league phase run, थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा. But on the other hand, they have all the tools to make it to the round of 16 or even the quarters. The other thing will be league manage करना पड़ेगा, ज़्यादा intense होगा. Teams will be a little more wary of Chelsea. Now we've seen like at least 2 years of Chelsea, and of course जब तक Chelsea recruit नहीं करेगी, some of their old problems will persist, which is low block में वो cross and इंशाल्लाह पे चले जाते हैं, तो crosses को रोकना है, उसको better deal करना कुछ टीम्स सीखेंगी, राइट. चेल्सी की गोल कीपिंग सिचुएशन में क्या होता है, क्या सैंचेज रहता है या पेट्रोविच बनता है, कोई और ही कीपर आता है, दैट विल बी अ ह्यूज थिंग. वेस्ली फोफाना का क्या होता है. सो अ लॉट ऑफ स्क्वाड शफलिंग विल हैपन. एंड्रे सैंटोस विल बी देयर. कौन से लोग कहाँ पे खेलते हैं, बिकॉज चेल्सी विल हैव प्रीटी मच 2 to 3 players in every position. 4 in striker with Jackson, Guyu, Delap and the fourth striker, so that's 4 center forwards that they'll have. If they get Sancho, Then Sancho, Noni, Palmer, probably Estevao, Neto. That's four again. 4 to 5 wingers. Kendry, Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, Santos. I guess Drewsbury Hall as well. 6-7 लोग उधर होंगे in midfield. सेंटर बैक्स पे बादेशील विल मोस्ट लाइकली मूव ऑन. ऑफ कोर्स हम इसमें तो हम टाइरिक जॉर्ज वगैरह टाइप के प्लेयर डाल भी नहीं रहे हैं. सो दे विल हैव अ बिग थिक बीफी स्क्वाड. उसको यूटिलाइज करना, मैक्सिमाइज करना, कहाँ पे कौन से प्लेयर्स खिलाने हैं, 2 games अ वीक मैनेज करना, वो बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाएगा. बिकॉज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट क्रिटिसिज्म फॉर आर्टेटा इज मेरे हिसाब से दैट ही स्टिल डजंट नो हाउ एंड व्हेन टू रोटेट. वो देखना पड़ेगा. कैन एंजो मेरेस्का डू दैट रोटेशन रियली 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 वेल. So, yeah, I think Chelsea will take a big leap next season. ये जो स्क्वाड उन्होंने यंग सा स्क्वाड असेंबल करा है, एक मैच्योरेशन एज पे आ जाएगा. एंड आई पर्सनली फील there is a very distinct possibility that if there are beyond City and Liverpool, if there's a third team to challenge, I think it will be Chelsea. दिल से कह रहा हूँ मैं. Okay, wait. क्या कहा है फब्रिजियो भाई ने? डेलाप की ही अपडेट दे रहे होंगे, वो तो थोड़ा सा मिल्किंग करते भी हैं फब्रिजियो भाई. फ्लोरियन वर्ड्स तो पिंड वाला है. Ipswich have offered loan move to Mark Gue as priority target, one of the key profiles wanted by McKenna. It's a separate story from Delap, Chelsea, but clubs in good relationships and Ipswich are pushing for Gue. तो ठीक है, Gue जा रहा है उधर. Fair enough दोस्तों, फिर तो क्या ही कर सकते हैं. Chelsea have inquired for Jarenth Branthwaite and advancing on Hato. Blues ideally want 2 new defenders. Okay, so Chelsea are also going for Jorel Hato and apparently also going for Branthwaite. So, like I said, Chelsea are recruiting really, really well, which is why I think they're going to make a significant jump next season. Yeah. Will you accept Messi at Arsenal now? Hypothetically, ये तो मैं भी hypothetically yes ही बोल देता हूँ. I think ये ही जाएगा Newcastle दोस्तों. Arsenal, why not doing for Osimhen? Because I think he's going to Al Hilal on a crazy wage. That's why. Can you explain how does KDB gone from Saudi to Napoli? It's probably just a preference thing, brother. I don't know if there's a logical explanation for this. Just preference, probably. If Arsenal buys Joe Bellingham, considering he has immense potential, I don't think we will prioritize a prospect midfielder. वरना हम स्वेर नाइपान के लिए चले जाते. I think Arsenal have plenty of good midfielders coming through the academy. So there is no need to buy somebody like Joe Bellingham, who's a young player who needs minutes. Job is probably better off to a team like United that has space for midfielders if he wants to join a top club, or go to Dortmund like his brother, follow his brother's footsteps. Departures for Chelsea. If they are getting all these strikers and Gue does not leave, then I think Jackson can also move. Mudrik ko they'll try to move on. Badiashile, Fofana, 1 or 2 keepers. I think 6-7 people might leave Chelsea, man. Who's better, KDB or ABD? ABC. MKC is better. पार्थिव दास बिकॉज दे आर ट्राइंग. पार्थिव ने क्या बोल दिया? अरे आर्सेनल को रिसेंटली इतना हेट बैंटर क्यों मिल रहा है? Oh, this is nothing new, Parthiv. This is absolutely nothing new. It's all for laughs. That's what I thought. It's all for laughs. कि कुछ भी हो जाए, how can we make it about Arsenal, which is fine, I think. ये मुझे तब रियलाइज हो गया था जब हमने सिटी को 5-1 हराया था और हमें बोला जा रहा था कि स्टे हम्बल क्यों कर रहे हो. That's when I realized that this is not like serious stuff happening. This is all literally just for laughs. Departures for United, pretty much everyone's for sale, right? I don't know who will leave, but pretty much everyone's for sale. I like him. I think he's going to be a good player, Godry bhai. But he's not the creative replacement for KDB. That मेरे हिसाब से low block को unlock करने के लिए it's going to be Cherki. That's what I feel, man. हाँ भाई, आपके क्लब की भी माँ की. Ancelotti is overrated. He needs individual brilliance. He has no system to win the Premier League. He's won the Premier League actually with Chelsea, man. Um, and saying that Ancelotti as a manager is overrated, to then brother, I think if Ancelotti is overrated, then we can't even speak on other managers, man. He's one of the most successful managers in the world of football, bhai. Let's not. You might be right about his system wala thing, which I personally also don't agree with. He does not have a rigid philosophy, but he still has a philosophy. So yeah, then the same goes for Pep. In what case, brother? Oh, you mean overrated? Please, please. Inzaghi leaving after the season, Arsenal can approach him. Inzaghi is going to Al Hilal, brother. That's the thing, man. If he was saying, no, 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 then no. And I think if Inzaghi was leaving and not going to Al Hilal, then I think he would have stayed at Italy and Juve and everything, man. I don't know, man. Parthe, I think we will probably miss these times if we start falling out of these times consistently. For my Champions League final, I think I have a feeling it'll be PSG, dosto. I feel it'll be PSG. There's too many in a final. You need one moment, dosto. Like take the United versus Spurs game. Horrible game in general, but United versus Spurs, mein, all it took was Spurs one shot on target, one goal. And United half 10 puffed and half 10 puffed. I think one moment of brilliance wala. Both teams are capable for one moment of brilliance. I just think PSG have more people who can do it, man. करेंगे बारसा पे बात है दोस्त करेंगे बारसा पे बात है it doesn't make sense man but here managers and everyone is basically securing the bag dude that's it everyone's securing the bag you can't really blame them for it do you want to 10 this window and we will get and will we get one this window I really want to see is Simmons Gibbs White Furman Lopez I would not mind all three of the names for Arsenal Aman bhai but we need more of a creative guy which is why I'm more in favor of Simmons Javi Simmons. He's also available for sale, 70, 80 million, but I don't think we'll buy him, man. I think we'll park most of our money in a striker and a winger. Because the striker market is overpriced, the winger market is also overpriced. So, mere hisab se, that's where most of our money is going to go. Inzaghi will join Arsenal for the amount you pay Arteta. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe you're right, but there's no way to know because I think the board still trusts Arteta. And that is why these things will always remain hypothetical. Yeah, I heard this, man. Like he's going to Al Hilal for Club World Cup. I don't know, man. I mean, I think he should just go to Sporting, man. Just go home, man. No, you don't need to do this in Saudi anymore. Everyone rates Ronaldo. Everyone rates Ronaldo's career. Everyone knows how great he is, dude. I don't know. It always feels like he's always trying to prove something, and he doesn't need to do it. Doesn't need to do it. एंड आई थिंक हम फैंस भी थोड़े से ग्रीडी हो जाते हैं कि नहीं नहीं मुझे तो रोनाल्डो को एक और साल ऐसे देखना है मे बी आई एम रॉन्ग बट आई जस्ट फील ही नीड्स टू स्टॉप ट्राइंग टू लिव in a way where I think he feels that he has to prove a point. Should just be content. He's achieved so much. He's had a career better than some of the greatest players in football, bhai. पता नहीं क्यों. Yeah, it's a merry-go-round यार चुन चुन के. Merry go-round. उस पे भी बात करते हैं. I'll star your comment. Couldn't fill Al Nassr stadiums, by the way. I don't know, man. Like, really, the reason we know Al Nassr is not because of Talisca and whoever, man. It was because of Ronaldo, dude. Like, if there were Saudi League broadcasts happening in India, it wasn't because for all the great things Benzema has done or Talisca has done or Mitrovic has done. Nobody bought Saudi ki broadcasting rights in India for all these players. It's for Cristiano, man. Which team am I most scared of? Liverpool. and City. Top two, third Chelsea. Sunny dancer. Okay. Which Arsenal season was better? Previous one was thousand times better, man. Thanks, dude. PSG did the best move signing Kvaratskhelia before the winger market got inflated. How much did they buy Kvaratskhelia for? Yeah, you're right, actually. Compared to Man United, we had better transition from Wenger era, and whatever we saw post Wenger still gives me nightmares. So I still support. I only think stop us is injuries and draw. No, Arteta also has issues in terms of squad balance and a little bit slow on changing his tactics, and he's very stubborn, and substitutions can be late. There's a lot of things Arteta doesn't do right. But I still feel, compared to everything else which is available in the market right now, he's still the best guy to do it, man. Do you think Arsenal needs a poacher type striker, somebody who can head in the ball when Arsenal crosses, inshallah, or do they need an ST who drops back like Voltemade and Mbappe? Funnily enough, we need a Gabriel Jesus type striker. Um, there are two types of strikers that are featured at Arsenal. In fact, that's probably for every club. One is the anti-goal striker who does everything else like Jesus does. Drops in, combines, trickery कर लेता है, wings पे चले जाता है, प्ले मेकिंग कर लेता है, बट गोल मारते मारते कभी कभी भूल जाता है. Then there's the Aubameyang kind of guy who is like below average in all the other things, but उसको अगर 1v1 दे दिया, most likely he's gonna score. And that's the question, man. For me, I think we need the guy who can just score. I think for the system, a striker that combines is more necessary, but I myself have doubts on how good the system right now is. It's an unbalanced system which requires too much defending and a lot of fatigue. It's a system which needs to change a little bit, um, and needs to tweak a little bit away from being better out of possession and being better in possession. I think out of possession में हमने इतना ज़्यादा emphasis दे दिया है कि हम इन पोजेशन वाली चीज़ों को ढंग से कर ही नहीं पा रहे हैं. दैट्स व्हाट आई फील. ये चीज़ें करनी पड़ेंगी. इफ यू कांट बीट देम, जॉइन देम. स्टीम अकाउंट हैक हो गया, साले ने ईमेल भी बदल दिया भाई. कमिसरेशंस भाई, राइट एन ईमेल टू स्टीम. Not, I'm not even saying be nonchalant, but just don't care. You've done so much. Just look at what you've achieved. He's not stopping until 1,000 goals, which is what I think he wants: an unassailable, unbreakable record. Um, Something which is purely his own. That's what I feel. Think if you look at Messi, he's got the World Cup, Messi's got the most Ballon d'Ors, all that stuff. क्रिस्टियानो का जो यूसीएल वाले गोल्स वाला था, आई थिंक रफीना ने इक्वलाइज कर लिया. He wants a standalone record basically, which is what I feel. Which is why I agree he's not going to stop till 1,000 goals, dude. We basically, bhai, need a guy who can break the deadlock, man. Just give him and score. 40 plus Rodrigo or 60 for Gyokeres, Sesko plus Gittins layout. Don't rate Nico too highly because बहुत injury prone है. IDK prem physicality cope कर पाएगा. Tough question, man. But I'll go for the second option. One of Gyok, Sesko plus Gittins layout में से कोई एक. Swap deal for Sesko. We don't have anyone to swap with Leipzig, man. All right. I don't think Zubimendi will survive. DMs are supposed to be physical. He is not. Did you see him against finished Casemiro? Joelinton and Tonali will kill him. I think forever gunner आप थोड़ा सा उसको underestimate कर रहे हो. I'll say I agree with your point that they should be a little bit physically resistant, but there is always space for DMs like Jorginho, DMs like Busquets, DMs like Zubimendi. बहुत सारे ऐसे होते हैं. Now, obviously you don't want somebody like Torreira. अगर आपको याद हो, टोरेरा हमारे पास था, एक चिंटू सा बंदा था, यूरोगोयन. फिजिकल था in terms of tackling and stuff, but could not escape a press, could not really pass that well. Zubimendi मेरे हिसाब से is one of those guys who, of course, does not physically impose himself, but he's just so intelligent with his movements that he doesn't really need a lot of muscle to withstand a lot of contact like that. He can be pressed, but a lot of times he's just going to get past it. A lot of times he's just going to get past it. But I understand your skepticism a lot. There should be a compilation on Twitter of Zubimendi versus Benfica. Watch that and you will see. He rides contact pretty well actually. It's not कि like unless जोलिंटन आके घुसंडी मार दे उसको तो बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. बट आई थिंक जॉर्जिनियो के जैसे सर्वाइव कर गया था जॉर्जिनियो चेल्सी में. आई थिंक जुबिमेंडी भी कर लेगा. ओके, डू यू थिंक यूवे इज अ डेड क्लब? नो वे डूड. देखो बड़े क्लब्स को एक्चुअली डेड होने में ना बहुत डेविस्टेटिंग चीजें चाहिए होती हैं. बेंजेमा टाइप एग्जैक्टली. बट वो कहाँ मिलेगा? अग्वेरो बेंजेमा टाइप प्लेयर बहुत चलेगा. Delap to Chelsea done? Yeah, I think it's pretty much done. I think Ornstein ne and Fabrizio ne कह दिया तो it's pretty much done, brother. We don't need a Jesus type ST. What is the point if you want to sign a Sesko type? I don't want him. Gyokeres is perfect. We need to stop building from the back when he comes. When switch to transition. Yeah, I think if we get Gyokeres, we will have to modify the system which makes it better for Gyokeres. The thing with Gyokeres will always be that if you get Gyokeres, you have to change pretty much everyone else's role to get into a transition only system. Second, what do you really do when a team denies you transitions and just sits in the low block? They'll press you with two people and they'll form a nice mid block which will transition into a low block. Then what will you do when you have settled possession? जब आपने बॉल जीत ली और आपके पास है, उसमें ग्योकरेस उतना स्ट्रांग नहीं है. अगर आप उसकी हैंड यूजेज फिजिकल यूजेज देखो, इट्स सो मच इन्फीरियर टू समबडी लाइक हालैंड. सो that is one of those things with Gyokeres. But you can't go wrong with him, dude. I still feel he's not a better long-term target than Sesko, but हमारे पास अब वो टाइम नहीं है कि हम किसी को लाके ग्रूम करके बिल्ड करें. 50 million plus Reece Nelson for bhai, I don't think that's gonna work with them, man. Kante was very physical, man. Zubimendi is not consistent, possibly. I think this season his confidence has been really short. But I think in a new environment, in our environment, he'll do really, really well, man. Rodrigo and Saka swap, I think it's like uh, getting an eye transplant or something and poking out your right eye to get a left eye. Doesn't really serve any purpose. We need Saka and Rodrigo rather than Saka or Rodrigo. Why they're not going for Strand Larson? I think it's going to take a couple of years before they go. I'm a City fan and Cherkin gives away any good. Haven't seen Forest and Leon play. Cherky is your low block को तोड़ने वाला बंदा. He can find a pass beautifully. He can attack from any side of the pitch, from the left, the center or the right. Half spaces में excel करता है. The only problem is a bit lazy. वो track back नहीं करेगा, but that's probably not what you want anyway. Gibbs White is your big game player. You give him the ball and he'll run. He's like a younger Kovacic with more shot power and a little bit better technical ability. And he's young and he's British, so homegrown quota bhi ho jata hai uske saath. So both are really, really nice. Realistic transfer window kya hai? Either Sesko, Gyokeres, I'd go for. If we get Gyokeres, then go for somebody like Gittins. Sane for free. एक बैकअप गोलकीपर फॉर चीप, एक सेंटर बैक का बैकअप एंड इफ पॉसिबल एक लेफ्ट बैक का बैकअप. दैट्स इट. Daksh, if we wanted a Jesus type of striker, why are we not going for Jota? Perfect, because he's aged and he is also physically unfit right now. As we have signed Zubimendi, Odegaard can play up and doesn't exactly. वो structurally Zubimendi की वजह से सब लोग अब हम 5 लोगों को अटैक में प्लेस कर सकते हैं. सिस्टम थोड़ा बहुत चेंज करना पड़ेगा उसके लिए हमें. होपफुली हम कर ले. होपफुली आर्टेटा कर पाए. स्ट्राइकर मार्केट इतना डल क्यों है? व्हाट हैज हैपेंड टू फुटबॉल? रियली हार्ड टू फाइंड प्लेयर्स लाइक बेंजेमा, एग्वेरो, डिएगो कोस्टा. Because now the requirement from a striker is not to just score goals, it's to combine first touch, physicality, pace, technical ability. बहुत कम है. हालैंड के बाद से कोई था नहीं. आप जितनी भी टीम्स के स्ट्राइकर देखोगे, एल्वारेज टाइप ऑफ स्ट्राइकर्स आर द मोस्ट इन डिमांड. पीपल हु कैन डू मल्टीपल रोल्स, people who can shoot, people who can score, but people who can also combine. and people who can play multiple positions, which is why the striker market is dull. You will see धीरे धीरे अगर आप ऐसी चीजें देखोगे, जो अब प्लेयर्स की वैल्यू 70 80 90 मिलियन हो रही है वो 22 23 की साल से हो रही है. कभी नहीं हुआ था, कभी नहीं हुआ था ऐसा. You have to prove at a top level before somebody paid that sort of money for you. And if you paid that sort of money for you, that striker was pretty much guaranteed कि ये बंदा तो टॉप 10 बैलन डोर में आएगा. अभी हुगो एकिटीके ने एक अच्छा सीजन करा है फ्रैंकफर्ट में और उस पर 100 मिलियन यूरो का प्राइस टैग चिपका दिया. क्या ही कर सकते हो उसका, राइट? So yeah, no Costas and everything, man. Hato is a CB slash LB and he's a leader, man. He's a very, very good player. So I don't hate that move for Chelsea at all, man. Osimhen Al Hilal मेरे हिसाब से यार. I also think ये वाला भी हो जाएगा. कैसे हो भाई फुटबॉल अनफिल्टर्ड, कैसे हो? और भाई रनिसू कैसा है? Havertz and Sesko swap won't happen, dude. Um, what happened to Odegaard? Why isn't he rated highly? I think he's had a bad season this season, which is why he's not been rated highly. But I think he'll be fine next season. I think people have a penchant for going a little bit too dramatic, man. The guy who was player of the year 2 years ago can't be like the worst player on our pitch this year and usko nikal ke bech ke pheko. It's fine. This season has been ass. That's pretty much it. Did you really need Zubimendi? Yes, because otherwise our midfield would be Merino, Rice, Partey, Odegaard, and that's an unbalanced midfield. It would still put all the creative burden on Odegaard. It'll also have to make us rely on an old aged Thomas Partey with declining fitness and already a pretty dodgy injury record. So we would force either us to play Rice at 6, which I don't mind, but that means Odegaard is basically building up, or Merino at 6, which I don't think is his best position either way. He's probably better as an 8. So since Jorginho was leaving, हमें जरूरत थी एक कंट्रोलर, टेम्पो सेटर जो लोग कहते हैं उसकी. And I think Zubimendi is the sort of guy for that, man. You're hearing midfield FC. What is this? I have no idea, brother. Don't you think left winger should be of greater priority than a striker? Most of our attacks are built by Saka alone, and Noneri needs to be given more time. I don't think it's an either or sort of situation, man. Um, our problems are multifold. So one problem is we only attack dominantly from the right, and the second problem is we don't have a good presence in the central part of the pitch. So we don't really attack from the middle, which we need to do. And our third problem is when we do create chances, we either don't shoot or we don't convert those chances into goals. It's a three-pronged problem, which will require a three-part solution. One is to get a striker who will convert those high turnovers जो हम press करके मेहनत से निकालते हैं into goals. A lot of times we press, we win the ball, we don't shoot, or we shoot wide. That can't happen. If you win the ball up high, you should score. For example, what we did against City a couple of times. Okay? Second situation, you need to stop making your attacks dominant from the right. It becomes hyper predictable. Martinelli is a good runner, but he's not a creative winger, and we need somebody for that creativity, which makes it also important to get a winger. And finally, central zones को access करने के लिए we need a number 10 slash another left attacking midfielder जो Odegaard की तरह mirror कर सके. That sort of player becomes important against low blocks, because low blocks will have a lot of possession. There is absolutely no point fielding physical midfielders against a low block opposition unless your entire strategy is cross and inshallah, which I don't think is a good strategy, sustainable strategy. That is why I feel थ्री pronged प्रॉब्लम के लिए थ्री pronged solution है और तीन प्लेयर्स की एटलीस्ट आवश्यकता है हमें. We are linked to Leroy Sané, but I think that is more of a contract thing, दोस्त. Daksh bhai, don't you think left winger should be greater? हो गया तो. What Max? Ayushi, I'll be honest यार, it's so difficult to extract proper value from this market. I don't think you can choose. I think the fact that we have ignored getting a proper striker since Gabriel Jesus, like actively recruited for a number 9, post Lacazette, and since we got Gabriel Jesus, is now I don't think we can be choosing कि हम इतना ही देंगे और उतना ही देंगे. We can obviously try and be smart with our money, but at this point, this is the market. I do not think it is possible for the club, environmentally, narratively, recruitment wise, to go into another season without a striker, hoping that next year market will improve. This is like my so हमारे घर पे ना एक कूलर होता था, ठीक है? एंड जब हम कूलर लिया था तब इट वाज प्रीटी कॉमन टू गेट वन ऑफ दोज वाटर कूलर्स जिससे आप मतलब गर्मी में भर सको. तो पापा ने वो कूलर आई थिंक उस टाइम पे 8,000 का लिया था, समथिंग लाइक, अ जायंट फकिंग कूलर. ओके, सो 8,000 का आई थिंक वो कूलर था. एंड ईयर ऑन ईयर यू नो जब ए सी ज़्यादा पॉपुलराइज हो गया, हम ए सी लगाने लगे, वो कूलर डिफंक्ट सा रह गया. सो समबडी एक दिन आया था, बोला कूलर कितने में खरीदोगे? सो ही सेड कि 4,000 में लेंगे हम. पापा लाइक नहीं नहीं, मैंने तो 8 दिए, अभी नहीं, नेक्स्ट ईयर तक हो सकता है मार्केट इंप्रूव हो जाए. वो 4,000 के 3,000 हो गए, 4,000 के 2,000 हो गए. ही नेवर गॉट द वैल्यू ही डिजायर्ड. एंड दैट इज बेसिकली व्हाट्स गोना हैपन टू अस इफ वी गो अनदर सीजन विदाउट अ स्ट्राइकर थिंकिंग कि शायद से मार्केट बेटर मिल जाए. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. किस बात पे ओपिनियन चाहिए मेरी आज चैट को? भाई पूछो भाई, रनिसू से सवाल पूछिए. El Khanous, again, these are such. Look, man, these are good players to come to your club when you want to take that next step, lower the wage bill, and इनके साथ ग्रो करना है. हम ग्रो बहुत कर चुके हैं, हमारा गार्डन इज रेडी. बस अब मतलब the flowers are ready, just pollinate that fucking shit and get some delicious fruits, man. El Khanous वगैरह are good to have as backups, but we have enough people coming through the academy जो इन चीज़ों को handle कर लेंगे. Don't mind El Khanous as a backup left winger option, but since we are keeping Martinelli and we are apparently giving Trossard an extension or giving him wages and we're still buying Sane, don't think it's necessary at all. A waste of funding and a waste of resources. It's time to buy the best player in the market, dude. El Khanous can be a great player in 3 years and you can cry about it ki theek tha, but if you somehow just get the best player in the market, nobody's gonna care, dude. Which is why I would love Ekitike, but we are so far down this process that we can't afford to get a player and grow us with him, grow him with us. That's it. As we all know, Mbappe played right wing at Monaco, thrived in that role. Awesome and proper ST for aerial duels. It depends on what Shabi wants, man. Maybe Shabi would want a hold up wala guy. I don't know. आज मैंने by the way rumor सुना था that Endrick might go to Juve. Who knows? So we'll see, man. If Endrick is available for loan, we should get him on loan. Not even joking. Not even joking. Getting a player like Endrick on loan would be really, really good. Will help both clubs. Thank you so much. Will you pay 100 for Sesko or that price might leave and wait? Yeah, the thing is this, man. Ayushi, I don't think it's going to cost 100. Like all in the package is going to cost 100. The base fees is probably going to be like 65, 70. And add-ons milate, they're probably going to take it to 90 or 100. If the add-ons are probably hit, that means something good has happened, in which case I don't think it really matters. In American sports, there is this thing that the flags will always fly, which basically means that if you end up winning, nobody cares, the flags will always fly. How you win, who you win, what did you buy, how much did you have to pay, kitna luxury tax, kitna cap break kiya, doesn't matter, man. The flags will always fly when you win. And so even if it costs us 100 but it guarantees us a Premier League or a Champions League, I think it'll be fine, man. Cardozo, I think Spurs जाने better होगा उसके लिए. Sesko or Gyokeres, who do you want? Who will we get? Who do I want? Sesko. Who will we get? Gyokeres. पागल, मैं कोई नहीं हूँ भाई. KDB replacement is Florian Wirtz. KDB replacement will be Cherky. Tamzid Bhai says, chat, by the way, 465 people है. Stream like कर दीजिए अगर आपने अभी तक नहीं किया. Subscribe if you're new. Dakshpai, do you think Luis Diaz is anywhere? No, he's not. But the price is not set by his ability. The price is set by how desperate Barca are to sign him and how much Liverpool value him. A player like Gyokeres or even Sesko. Sesko is not worth 90 million. He's worth 40, 45, 50 max. 50 max. This is 90 million is superstar wages. But वही है, we've basically backed ourselves into a corner और हमें overpay करना पड़ेगा. Lookman nahi, because must be some reservations, dude. He's already played in the Premier League with Fulham. Wasn't really that great, dude. That's why I guess साहिल भाई ऐसा हो रहा है. हमारा कूलर 700 का बिका. हमारा अभी तक नहीं बिका है. तो मेरे डैड को कभी भी नहीं हुआ था. एंड यू डू दिस विद प्रॉपर्टी ऑल्सो, राइट? प्रॉपर्टी खरीदनी होती है, अभी मार्केट क्रैश करेगी तभी हम लैंड खरीदेंगे. वो कभी क्रैश करती नहीं है. वो हमेशा ऊपर ही रहती है. सो दैट इज द स्ट्राइकर्स मार्केट. इज अनकंट्रोल्ड, inflated, unregulated market that will keep on inflating. The fact that Florian Wirtz, arguably one of the best young players in the world right now, is going for around 150 million. Oh my god. He's a great player. He's not worth over 100 million, man. 100 million should be left for the Yamals, the Messi in prime, the Ronaldo in prime. That's it. That is it. Nobody else. Neymar, maybe you can make a case. But nobody else is worth 100, man. 100 million should be a guarantee that you're getting a generational player that will serve your club's interest for the next decade and will make you win almost every year single handedly. That's 100 million. We're not even getting to 150. Yes, I do check him, man. Pep Linders? Oh my god, Colo Toure to fair enough, man. But Pep Linders, that's crazy. Yeah, this will happen, man. If this is the split now, see, here's the thing. If this is the split where we're at, where the board wants Gyokeres and Arteta wants Sesko, I completely understand why fans don't want Sesko, because Arteta को excuse मिल जाएगा कि बच्चा है, टाइम लगेगा, ये सब वो सब. ठीक है. Gyokeres best striker है, ले लो and everything. Here is my thing. If you get Gyokeres, that means you don't trust his recruitment, in which case please sack him and get a manager that can get the best out of Gyokeres. If you get him Sesko, he is responsible for his own choice and you can hold him accountable and you can sack him. But it's a lot of money and it does not make sense for me to sometimes overrule the manager for a crucial position like attacker. On the other hand, Klopp wanted Darwin Núñez. Edwards and Ward wanted somebody else. They ended up getting Darwin Núñez and it did not work out. There is no right answer to this. But in a crucial time like this, if you have to choose between the new guy, Berta, or our manager, Arteta, I would still say go for Arteta. But Gyokeres could be the answer. It is such a split. Every morning I wake up, I'm on a different answer, man. RCB cooked. मतलब बहुत अच्छा खेल रहे हैं. बहुत ही बढ़िया भाई RCB दोस्त. All right. Diaz is easy 60 million. Thank you so much, man. कैसे हो हेम भाई? How are you? Diaz is 50 max. Can Arsenal go for Rodrigo? We can. Is he for sale? I don't know. 130 million for the best cam in the world is fairs. All right. Fair enough, man. Palmer is like 100 million. 100 million player. Barely. Bruno probably you can say. The engine, the longevity, creativity. Yeah. टीम ऑफ द सीजन यार कहीं कभी नहीं बनेगी टीम ऑफ द सीजन. सब लोग अपने अपने प्लेयर अपनी टीम के बंदे डालते रहते हैं. हु आफ्टर आर्टेटा, whoever can make us win, dude. I am not tied to any particular manager. Gyokeres is much greater than Sesko any day. Go for Gyokeres. I think strikers fare differently in different systems, na doston. Like Ekitike at Frankfurt and Ekitike at PSG is such a different player. Frankfurt me flopped. Xerxes at Bologna and Xerxes at United are such different players. What do I think of Trossard? I like him, but it's time to move on, man. Main issue was recruitment. That is what we've somehow, सादिक भाई, हमने अपने ही recruitment में यही issue कर दिया है. हमारे क्लब में भी यही issue कर दिया. Recruitment बहुत बेकार है. Rice was 100. Yeah. Way overpaid, man. Way overpaid. But like I said, if we end up winning with Rice, the flags will always fly, man. The flags will always fly. Palmer is 85, 95 easily. Yeah. Juan Garcia to Arsenal. Too much money, dude. Not our priority. He wants a move right now. We have other priorities to settle right now, dude. Everyone getting a dose of transfer dopamine, unless, except us, unless you count Zubimendi, who we have known since January. I think other teams are not in that sort of a do or die phase right now as well. Like, I think, first of all, these negotiations we hear from journalists are not real time. You probably end up hearing about it a few weeks at best and months later, usually. For example, nobody knew Liverpool and Wirtz are talking since March. We only came to know about this in May. So you had a March, April, May, a 3 month gap, right? This Zubimendi thing came up early, but apparently we've been talking to him since last year when Liverpool approached him. Uh, it's the same. Like, very few deals actually take, like, happen in real time. कि बोर्ड की मीटिंग खत्म हुई, किसी ने फब्रिजियो को फोन किया और फब्रिजियो ने ट्वीट कर दिया. These things happen already बहुत टाइम से. The do or die is self-inflicted. I won't even call it an infliction, man. It's just where we are. Like, we have to, यूपीएससी के 4 अटेम्प्ट हो गए हैं, पांचवा देना है, फाइनल अटेम्प्ट है अपना. और बस थोड़ा सा इंपॉर्टेंट है मैन, इस बार हमें थोड़ी ज्यादा पढ़ाई करनी पड़ेगी. दैट्स इट. कैसे हो भाई अंशुमन? I think we'll hear a striker signing before the Club World Cup. I think before that we'll hear renewals, man. Nwaneri, Saliba, Saka, Miles, इन सब के renewals, Partey, Trossard, इन सब के renewals हम सबसे पहले देखेंगे, man. Sell Jackson, bring a top class striker like Osimhen. Not gonna happen. He's gonna Al Hilal or Gyokeres will work in Chelsea's system much better than Arsenal's. And use Delap as a backup striker, and we are in the UCL, so it's good to have backup like Delap. I agree. I think that's a good one, man. Nagelsmann to Arsenal will have to wait for the World Cup to get over. Most underrated defender, midfielder, and attacker. Oh, there's too many, man. If you have to say underrated defender, somebody who doesn't get his dues, तो बिसेक को भी मिलने लग गया है, डमफ्रीज को भी मिलने लग गया है, पाचो को भी मिलने लग गया है. Underrated defender. I think Gehi and Joachim Anderson are pretty underrated. Fabian Schär does not get the respect he deserves, I feel. Fabian Schär is a great underrated defender. In terms of midfielders, Eze काफी underrated था, although he's well known, but I feel अब Eze को proper rating मिलने लग गई है. Adam Wharton will also eventually be there. I think Archie Gray. Archie Gray is a very underrated midfielder, man. In terms of forwards, Retegi, man. I don't know how people are sleeping on Retegi. बहुत सारे हैं यार. पेपी है, बहुत बहुत हैं. Konate, I think Konate is fairly rated, dude. Kubarsi, shut up, man. How is he underrated, dude? Bastoni कहाँ underrated? तुम लोग underrated को कुछ भी समझ लेते हो, man. Diomande कोई नहीं बोलेगा underrated defender में. He's very underrated actually, man. Van Bissaka agreed. Gravenberch, he just won player of the year, dude. Young player of the year. Stiller, nah. McTominay, very underrated, true. Arda Guler, he ain't rated, man. He's benched. They're going for Delap because he's young, homegrown, and somebody that Maresca knows how to work with. Kaise ho Hassan bhai? How are you? Murillo, now he's getting those rated. Diomande is the ghost of Mustafis. अभी जब हम Diomande को sign करेंगे ना रेनेसू, तब देखियो तू. Locatelli, agreed. Locatelli is very good. McAllister, I think now he's getting his proper rating. Anthony, dude, trust me, bro. Anthony against Chelsea yesterday, back to his usual antics, man. Diogo Costa to City, good things. Stop using too many emojis, you're gonna get banned soon. Tomori, I don't know. Jet Spence is very underrated, I agree. Which Thuram? Kefren or Marcus? Lobotka, yes. Bremer, yes. Barrios, I don't think he's underrated. Baina भी underrated नहीं है. Chad, what happened to Alex Garcia? वो उधर गया था ना? Leverkusen. How's Alex Garcia doing these days? I remember we were in for him at one point. Vivian is very underrated. I agree. No, I think क्या है वीडियो मंडे की डिमोंडे इज वर्थ 40 ish. हाँ 40-50 तो लग ही जाएंगे डिमोंडे के लिए. Yes, yes, I know, I know. Thiago Silva all time underrated. No man. If you saw him at Milan and if you saw him at PSG, he was highly rated, man. Chris Wood, Burns, Dan Burn. How is Desiree doing? He's fine, him by. UCL prediction, I think PSG is gonna win. Gallagher underrated. He's not underrated. He's quite disrespected, man. David Villa, क्या बोल रहे हो भाई आप? कहाँ David Villa underrated था? He wasn't rated as highly as Messi or Eto probably at some point, but भाई David Villa at Valencia was considered one of the best La Liga strikers, dude. Um, how is Zubimendi? Very very good, dude. पाको आल्कासर का जो डॉर्टमेंड वाला स्टेंट था ना बहुत ही बढ़िया था. ओयार जबाल, यस, ओयार जबाल अच्छा है. Fabian Ruiz, I think, doesn't get his plaudits. Although everyone knows him, I think Fabian Ruiz, non-Spanish football देखने वाले, स्पेन की नेशनल टीम नहीं देखते या पीएसजी को नहीं देखते, I think he is very underrated. Fabian Ruiz. Tino? इवान राकिटिच. इवान राकिटिच को बार्सा ने जब सेविया से लिया था ना बड़ा हाईली रेटेड था तब. बहुत कैंपेनिंग करी थी. ग्वार्डियल बड़ा है भाई. बहुत बहुत रेटेड है. इमोबिले इवेंचुअली. बारियोस हो गया. लोबोत्का हो गया. Oyarzabal only good for Spain. Tino Livramento is very, very good. Every player is underrated until big club tried to sign them. Garcia is underrated. तुम लोग तो गार्सिया को बेचना चाह रहे थे भाई. जो अभी तुम टेस्टेगन आउट करते हो तो तुम गार्सिया आउट भी करते थे. हाकान, yes, I think Hakan doesn't get the respect he deserves, man. आसपास Alberto, Luis Insigne. क्या Lorenzo Insigne है? Ultima is too young, man. Shinji Okazaki. Shinji Okazaki का तो पता नहीं. Shinji Kagawa was very underrated. Most overrated defender. Oh, chat, who is the most overrated defender? आप बताइए. मैं किसी के टोज पे स्टेप नहीं करना चाहता. Bellingham is underrated. Okay. Colville this season is underrated. Stefan De Vrij, Anthony Robinson, VVD, Budimir, Kimpembe, Maguire, Araujo, Rudiger, Colville, Ramos, Costa Curta was underrated. Okay. Upamecano, Rudiger, Kim, Saliba, Parejo is underrated. Okay. PK, Delict. I think yeah, Delict slightly. But अब लोग बोलेंगे तू फिर से यूनाइटेड को हिट करता. नहीं नहीं, Delict नहीं. Delict बहुत प्रॉपर, बहुत मस्त है. Walker, yeah, Walker is very overrated, man. Rudiger, I think Rudiger is a good defender, dude. He is also a menace, but I think he's a good defender. Part is a midfielder, dude. He's not overrated. He's a criminal. Perisic is very underrated. कहाँ से? अब हो सकता है, बट यार जब बायर्न में था, इंटर में था, सही तो था वो. Maguire is overrated, you feel? I think Maguire is proper defender, man. Asensio. Okay. You feel Asensio is not that good. Van de Ven is underrated? Okay. Messi is underrated? Okay. What do you think is the one thing that Arsenal as a club needs to fix for next season to be in the title race as much as possible, except for say? I'll be honest, man. If Arsenal wants to fix something, it has to fix its recruitment. Treat next season as do or die. Spend a shitload of money and buy all the best players in the world. That's the long and short, man. Buy 3 Declan Rice level razors. That's all we need, dude. देख यार, आर्सेनल ने ना इतनी रिक्रूटमेंट तो कर लिया है कि हम खराब से खराब सीजन में भी इवेंचुअली, चाहे रेड कार्ड्स, इंजरीज, सस्पेंशंस, घपले कुछ भी हो जाए, वर्स्ट केस सिनारियो हम सेकंड ही रहेंगे, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा थर्ड ड्रॉप कर लेंगे, ठीक है। तो फ्लोर ऑफ आर्सेनल सेट हो चुका है कि टॉप 4 टीम तो हम बन चुके हैं अच्छे से। अब वो लेवल रेज करना है। अब आपको अगर लेफ्ट विंगर चाहिए तो टेम्प्ट करने की कोशिश करो बारकोला को, विलियम्स को, लेआओ को, रोड्रिगो को। ये चिन्नू मिन्नू लीरॉय साने में मत अटको अभी। ही इज अ गुड प्लेयर बट ही इज नॉट द प्लेयर वी नीड राइट नाउ। ही इज अ इकोनॉमिकली गुड साइनिंग बिकॉज इज फ्री। आप 10 मिलियन ही खर्चोगे पर ईयर उस पर, फेयर इनफ, बट stop trying to outsmart the market and just go with the belief that you have to get the best player in every position for your club. If your ambitions are to win, you have built a squad very smartly over the last 4 or 5 years. Now put the cherries on top, man. And that's it. Real Madrid hijack words. I don't think so, man. Like I said, dude, Madrid media always does this, dude. एक फड़फड़ाहट होती है मड्रिड मीडिया को। जूबी मेंडी से भी पहले उन्होंने कर दी थी फड़फड़ाहट कि नहीं नहीं जूबी मेंडी इज वेटिंग फॉर मड्रिड, फिर कंफर्म हो गया था। अभी 5-6 दिन में आई थिंक वर्ड्स भी कंफर्म हो जाएगा। पेप लिंडर्स एट पेप ग्वार्डियोला का मैनेजर विल बी क्रेजी मैन। Pep Linders with Pep Guardiola, man, that's nuts, dude. It's crazy to think about, chat. Vitinha doesn't get the hype he deserves. Now he does. नहीं नहीं, कोई ओवररेटेड नहीं है भाई, सब बहुत ही बढ़िया डिफेंडर्स है, मुझसे मत पूछो। आई थिंक इफ यू लुक एट ओवररेटेड डिफेंडर्स, आई थिंक Fofana, Wesley Fofana is a bit overrated मेरे हिसाब से। He's a good defender but I think he's not as good as people think. At City I would say Diaz maybe slightly overrated. At Arsenal, ना आर्सेनल पे properly rated है आर्सेनल पे। यूनाइटेड पे मे बी डिलेक्ट, स्पर्स पे नहीं, दे प्रॉपर्ली रेटेड स्पर्स पे। एक पॉइंट पे उडोगी गॉट अ बिट ओवररेटेड बट नाउ आई थिंक पीपल हैव वाइजनड अप। लिवरपूल, no, Liverpool is also properly rated, I feel. Licha, I like Lisandro, man. I like Lisandro. I just don't think this is the system for Lisandro, man. He needs a high touch system, dude. He's so good at delivering, building up from the back, man. Kiwi are overrated. I think this run has actually shown that he's underrated, dude. If he can hold his own in the absence of Gabriel, manage Madrid and all. Pep Linders क्लॉप का असिस्टेंट था। Why not have Arsenal go all in for left wing and a striker? For two reasons. First, we don't know which one to go for. There's like 2 or 3 के बीच में confusion. And third, negotiations are seldom like सब्जी लेना कि आप जाओ बोलो मुझे ये चाहिए and they're like हाँ हाँ ले लो. Other times when you approach a club for their player, they want to usually replace him, see who's available for them to replace. So for example, if you say Rodrigo, Madrid would want to replace Rodrigo with somebody really, really good, right? And Sporting would want to replace Gyokeres with somebody really, really good. Otherwise, they only have harder there. So it takes time, man, for all these big deals to happen. And that's why we have to wait a little bit, man. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Mingueza is underrated. Okay. Hincapie, I agree. Hincapie is very underrated. David Hanko is also very underrated. एक PSV का defender था Boskagli. He is very underrated. I don't know where he's moving. Boskagli is moving somewhere. हाँ, I was just giving an example basically, brother. Nkunku, नहीं देखो यार, ये मेरे को 9.5, 10.5 वाले players नहीं चाहिए. Give me a specialist now, man. If you want that sort of a 10.5, 8.5 sort of player, position wise, then please go for Javi Simons, man. Nkunku ain't gonna be cheap, man. Nkunku's gonna cost at least 45 to 50. Just put in 20 more million, 30 more million, and get Javi Simons, man. I ain't even joking. I ain't even joking. Zubimendi, is he a level raiser like Declan? Hard to say right now, man. Hard to say right now. I'm sort of leaning on no. He maintains the floor, is what I'd say for him. At least maintains the floor. Will he raise the levels? Who knows, man. Scalvini, who knows, dude? How did Arsenal bag a baddie like Thierry Henry? We bagged a baddie like Thierry Henry because he had a failed season at Juve and nobody rated him. He was about to get kicked out of the France national team, and we bought him because Wenger trusted him and Wenger saw something special in him. We gave him the opportunity. He also became a part of the France national team, won the World Cup in '98. Played for Arsenal really, really well. The rest is history, man. We backed him because we believed in him since youth days. Now, Zubimendi's best version of Ceballos. Ceballos at Arsenal, man. Valverde or Declan Rice? Different players, dude. You tell me. Cotton clothes or dal chawal? Should have gone for Alvarez last season. Now we're suffering for a good striker. If he was for sale, I think he would have moved, man. And I don't think City would have sold to us. Oh, you're right. He's at Monaco when he won the World Cup. He had a failed season at Juve, then Monaco, and then Arsenal. Uh, Talk about Newcastle, Daksh Bhai. When do you think we'll be able to spend freely? Soon. You are building a complex near St. James's Park. You have kept your core. If you become a regular Champions League team, slowly, 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 and of course after um, this City wala jo case hoga, you'll be able to spend a lot of money, man. Um, Alvarez would have been so good. He will still be so good. It's just a question of do we push for it and will they sell? Why Zubimendi chose Arsenal over Liverpool? I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew. इसकी क्लैरिटी अभी तक आई नहीं है और हमें पता नहीं है. Mumbai आओ Maguire से मिलने. Okay. Should Chelsea be celebrating Conference League title? Yes, they should be celebrating, man. Because the team has suffered in the last 2 years. There have been a lot of questions by the media, some very mean questions. They've been called £1 billion bottle jobs. They've been told actively in the media that they should stop signing players. There have been graphics made of them क्योंकि पास इतने करोड़ players हैं, ये सब है, वो सब है. And so when you win something, you should celebrate. Whether you celebrate it like your firstborn, whether you celebrate it like UCL, whether you celebrate it like a golf clap, it's all up to you, man. Celebrate how you want to do. How do you want to celebrate? Celebrate. Nobody, in a world where there is so much sadness, pain, suffering, the last thing we should be telling people is to not celebrate too much because there is no such thing as celebrating too much. Just celebrate. Celebrate like the world isn't watching. If if the internet did not exist today and the Chelsea players celebrated how they celebrated, nobody would give a fuck because we wouldn't even know about it. Enjoy, man. ऑल गुड सोहन भाई, आप कैसे हो? बहुत टाइम है यार. ये आर्सेनल की जैकेट जो सोहन भाई की डीपी में ओडेगार्ड ने पहनी है ना, बहुत मस्त है. Joao Felix will solve Arsenal problems. The only thing Joao Felix will solve is overpopulation in the Arsenal fan base, dude. Because I think half of them will off themselves if we sign Joao Felix. Why is no one going for Lookman? Because I think there are doubts about his ability in the Premier League. Pacho is underrated too. I think now he's getting it, man. वो पेंचो नहीं है भाई, वो पाचो है. PACHO, not पेंचो. Good, I'm happy to hear that, Sohan bhai. Alvarez can fit in any team if he can do it in Atletico, where you defend it for your life and attack at times. Yeah, I just think we need to change that system a little bit, man. Any suggestions about sporting directors as you sacked Paul Mitchell, says Neerad Bhai. Yeah, I don't know, man. Apparently, the Paul Mitchell sacking happened because Eddie Howe and Paul Mitchell had disagreements. Now, there are a lot of good sporting directors you can sign. At the very top of the list, I will suggest a guy called Tim Steidten, who was West Ham and Monaco का ex. मोनाको का था टिम स्टाइडन कहाँ का था या कहीं जर्मन क्लब का था शायद से खैर you can go for Tim Steidten, really, really, really good sporting director. Um, you can go for Giles, who I think is Brentford's sporting director. He's also a very, very good guy. And I think Palace ka bhi this guy has left. Palace ka sporting director has just left. I don't know to where or if he's free. You should go for that guy. That guy has top level championship scouting network, bhai. So you can go for these three people, man. Bro has beef with Joe Felix. I just feel we don't need him, man. Any outgoing players from Liverpool? I think Liverpool will sell a lot, brother. Liverpool will sell a lot. Pancho is a better name. All right. Best striker pick for Liverpool, Alvarez or Ekitike? Then Gyokeres, teen. How do you speak like you like communication clear? I'm new in corporate. Need that. The best way to communicate clearly is to have clear thoughts. And if you don't have clear thoughts, then compose yourself and get them clear. And if you want to build clear thoughts, I will say read a lot and communicate with people in smaller groups, familiar groups, and build that confidence, and then you can communicate. But clear thoughts होना सबसे important है दोस्त. I only speak when I feel I have like clear thoughts. Tribhuvan bhai, thank you so much for joining the membership. I'll upload the Discord link, man. You can join the Discord. क्या हुआ तेरे को? अच्छा मैंने Felix के बारे में बोल दिया इसलिए कोई बात नहीं भाई. तू ले ले वापस Felix को यार बारसा वालों. No team in the world need Joao. Joao is beyond football, man. We just can't accommodate him. Uh, yeah, I think it was one of the first ones, dude. But I think it could have been like an anomalous transfer. But the Premier League clubs just kept the tradition up, man. What's my age? I'm 30, dude. 30 साल का मैं 30 वर्ष इस साल 31 का हो जाऊंगा मैं Costello Lukeba is a great defender. Scalvini post ACL, how is Scalvini been दोस्त? Don't know about him. Hato तो बहुत बढ़िया है. Hato Chelsea जा रहा है apparently. Don't I know I'm seeing Nunu and Alvarez swap with money involved. Possible, dude. Possible. Very, very, very possible. Ekitike, Osimhen, Gyokeres, Sesko. Whom do you want? In an ideal world, Ekitike. In a realistic world, Sesko. What will usually happen is Gyokeres. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Unlikely, man. Felix का प्रोफाइल क्या है खुद Felix को ही नहीं पता. Felix needs a lot of love, a lot of confidence, and a team like Aston Villa, which is consolidating an upper mid-table position and fighting for the Champions League. Another team which is looking to stay in the Champions League or win titles cannot really tolerate Joao Felix too much in that system right now. Joao Felix is a big fish in a small pond kind of player, man. He has technical ability, he has a lot of things, but you have to absorb a lot to get Joao Felix at his best, man. Sahil bhai, thank you so much for joining the membership. Discord join कर लेना आज इस stream के बाद. Here we go, Delap Chelsea. Congratulations to Chelsea, man. आपका Delap हो गया है. क्या हो गया है? Chelsea strike total agreement with Ipswich Town to sign Liam Delap. Chelsea to activate 30 million release clause in 22-year-old striker's contract. Personal terms for England youth still need to be completed. No problem anticipated, says David Ornstein. So congratulations to all Chelsea fans, दोस्तों. अधेड़ आर यू में फ्यूचर प्लान क्या है भाई कुछ नहीं भाई मटर गश्ती इज द फ्यूचर प्लान इफ यू कांट गेट सिमंस वी शुड गो फॉर ब्रूनो वी शुड बी आरवीपीइंग देम बट जितना उनको सऊदी से पैसा मिलेगा आई डोंट थिंक हम उतना ऑफर कर पाएंगे would you rather be knocked out in the UCL round of 16 or win the Conference League final? What a strange question. I don't know, dude. Depends on what the league is. If top 4 is secured and you're going into the Champions League next season, then I guess win the Conference League. But actually, yeah, I think that's it, man. Or if top 4 is secured, like I guess, dude. I mean, It's very. I'd be. I'll tell you honestly, man. If my team is in a position where we have to fight in the Conference League, I'll be super devastated before that only. But yeah, if it comes to winning it, of course, man, just win it, dude. But I won't get sad if we get knocked out of the Champions League and somebody wins the Conference League, because I mean, it my happiness and sadness with that will depend on Arsenal's performance, not of who is winning the Conference League, dude. That is a competition my team has to get worse to play in, and that itself is a disappointment. RVP और Sanchez का बदला लेना. Tactically, what would you want Arsenal to improve? Balance the system better, attack more, trust a defender to defend. You don't have to defend with 8 players, 9 players. Sure, you might concede less goals, but you will also score less goals. Um, the more you make your players run, the more fatigued their actions will get. Some players are built for it, some players are not built for it, and even the players that are built for it will eventually break down. So, I would make defenders defend and attack a little bit. I will usually make attackers attack and defend slightly less than they usually do. Uh, that doesn't mean you go the Real Madrid way जहाँ पे Mbappe और Vinicius बिल्कुल ट्रैक बैक नहीं करते और मौज मस्ती चलती है. What PSG does is the perfect way to go about it. Kvaratskhelia tracks back, Due tracks back, Barcola tracks back, but they occupy the right spaces to attack, make sure that their attack never suffers. I feel in our defense, we suffer in attack. You have to find a balance in that sense. Tactically, I'll also try and attack from the left hand side a little bit more. That's it, man. Today is the last day for Bruno to accept Saudi offer, man. All right, we'll see. काम है थोड़ा, चलो आप भी ध्यान रखिए सोहन भाई. Ekitike can't handle the pressure in big game. I have seen in some games. I think if you have the right environment with Ekitike, like which is goal scoring wingers, I think sab badhiya hai. Look, again, Ekitike does not have to be the answer. In a club which is growing, which is building a project, I think Ekitike suits really, really well, man. He doesn't have to be the main man. Even in Frankfurt, Marmoush was the guy who was scoring the goals and Ekitike was helping him. So, wo wali baat hai. Do I have ADHD? I've never been diagnosed with it, man. Only Dembele run like a dog, rest of the squad run equally. Yep. Yes, brother, देखा मैंने. So much excited about Cherky, he got some offensive balls. Offensive balls. Yeah, he's a great offensive player for sure, man. Only OGs know what Ansu was before that injury. Betis, it's really sad to see his downfall. Yeah, man. Now he's off to Monaco, man. फुटबॉल कभी बदल जाता है दोस्तों. कोई भरोसा नहीं होता फुटबॉल का. Arsenal should go for Cherky. Nah, man. Our system ain't conducive for this shit. Anyways, दोस्तों, I'll take your leave, man. कोई और ना कोई स्ट्रीम करोगे, बट स्ट्रीम मेरी लाइक कर दो पहले जाने से पहले. Who else is streaming? Nathan is streaming. You can join Nathan. Chonky is streaming, so you can join Chonky. Football Unfiltered. Jayant is streaming. You can join Jayant as well for Madrid and La Liga talks as well. Show support to everyone, man. धीरे धीरे और जगहों पे फैल जाओ दीमकों की तरह, बट मेरी स्ट्रीम लाइक करके जाना. Love you all, man. 420 likes, not enough. Let's get to 500, दोस्तों. And will I see you tomorrow? Maybe late night, दोस्तों. Maybe late night. I can't really promise. But this was another stream. And let me just check. मैंने सुपर चैट सारे देख लिए. साहिल भाई ने मेंबरशिप ज्वाइन कर ली. त्रिभुवन भाई ने मेंबरशिप ज्वाइन कर ली. रैकेटिच, इसको हुमल्स, डियोंग आर अंडररेटेड हैं ये सारे. ऑलराइट. We've discussed this one. Syria manages shifting का एक ही चीज है दोस्तों. It's a merry-go-round, man. Let's see who ends up where, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Hate banter क्यों मिलता है? Because it's easy to rattle us, basically. The more we concern ourselves about what other people think, the more they'll go about it. Listen, man, if you beat a top team like Man City 5-1 and you are still the butt of the jokes, then people aren't honest about your assessments. That's it. We've talked this one. Ned ने membership gift करी, पार्थिव का ये भी ले लिया था. Downplay, I think it's a realistic thing. Need membership. All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Sosno. You also guys have a good day. One super that just came. Daksh Bhai trophy is coming next season. Ajay, man. I'll be very happy. All of this, Yash, will be worth it. I'll really, really appreciate it. if finally a big good trophy, one with big ears, one with the red ribbons for Arsenal comes through, we'll celebrate together, man. सबकी जीत होगी. विस्का गनर कर दो, हाला गनर कर दो, glory glory गनर कर दो. But stay happy, stay safe, man. And thank you so much, man. 200 people are still here. I want to say one last thing before I go. To the people who've stayed till the end, the last few weeks in my life, I mean, like pretty much a month, have been like horrible. Okay? Terrible weeks to get through. Not because of football, other things also. Life is just hectic and stuff like that. Streaming and sticking with you guys has been the highlight of my day every time I manage to do it. So I appreciate all of you जो भी किसी भी तरह से contribute करते हैं, चाहे chat से, banter से, गाली से, jokes से, super chats, memberships. Appreciate all of you, man. Genuinely, you make my day so much nicer. ठीक है? But tough times don't last, tough people do. एंड आर्सेनल भी ट्रॉफी जीतेगी इवेंचुअली, देखना. चलो दोस्तों, सी यू ऑल सून, टॉक टू यू लेटर, एंड आई सी यू लेटर, ऑलराइट. चौंकी, जयंत, नेथन, who else is streaming? Bunch of people are streaming. Join somebody's stream. It's gonna be fun. Support everyone in the community, man. And I'll see you all later. See you. Tada. Bye bye. Good night.